I'm live, right? Oh, yeah, we're live. Look at my hair. Very professional. I fix my hair after I'm live. If my microphone is making a terrible noise, say something. Please. I think I fixed it. I'm almost certain I fixed it. Just pulling up my favorite streamer. You'll never guess who it is. We'll see if we get some people to join the stream tonight. Doesn't really matter if they do or if they don't. You can rewatch this broadcast. I'm broadcasting live because it's the Nick Moore Show live. We're live up in this P. It's February. That means two things: Black History and President's Day. Guys, I'm so smart. I can name all of the presidents in order. You ready? Let's do it because this is so much fun. This will be easy. I promise I'm not cheating. What the heck? I never support anyone except for Nick Moore. Stop this. Get away from my... Yes, I use an ad blocker because I'm superior. Washington. Adams. This is going to be John Adams, John Quincy Adams. I'm no cheat. John Quincy Adams was the sixth president. John Adams was the second president. Adams. The third president was the Thomas Jefferson, the man on the $2 bill. It should be the $3 bill. I hate Discord with a burning passion. If Discord ever opens up again unannounced, throwing my computer out the window. Jefferson. The fourth president was James Madison. Then James Monroe. The Monroe Doctrine. John Quincy Adams is aforementioned. The seventh president of the United States, Andrew Jackson. Van Buren. Okay. Wow, the first president to die in office was William Henry Harrison. Oh, him and his grandson are going to pop up here twice because it goes by last name and this thing is dumb. So, William Henry Harrison, then Benjamin Harrison. What number president was he? I don't know. It was like the Reconstruction era, the late 1800s. There you go. Oh, no, it didn't do both of them. Nice. Okay. William Henry Harrison was president for the shortest time. You're learning so much. The 10th president, John Tyler. The 11th president, Polk, James K. Polk. The 12th president, apparently he also died in office. The 12th president. I know the 13th president was Millard Fillmore, but the president before him... Oh, yes, Zachary Taylor. He ate a bowl of cherries and ice cream and died. Don't do that. True fact. I already said Millard Fillmore. I know nothing about him other than his name is Millard Fillmore. And he was the 13th president. The 14th president, good old Franklin Pierce. Apparently his son was decapitated in front of him on a train ride. Dang, that's an L. Then James... I can't spell Buchanan. After him, Lincoln. then Johnson, an L of a president, and Lyndon Johnson was also a president after Kennedy and before Nixon. I think that's accurate. James Banana was our president. Okay. Ulysses S. Grant, Rutherford B. Hayes, Garfield, then Chester Arthur. Ooh, this is where it gets tough for me. Like, yeah, like the late 1800s is. I want to say Grover Cleveland. Yeah, Grover Cleveland. Okay, and then Benjamin Harrison. Nice. Okay. William McKinley. Will.i.am. Nice. Then I'm just going to do Roosevelt. It'll be Teddy and FDR. Nice. After Theodore Roosevelt, Taft was the president. After Taft was the president, Wilson. Woodrow Wilson. Fun fact about Woodrow Wilson's presidency. Fun fact about President Woodrow Wilson. His wife, technically, maybe the first unofficial female United States president. True story. At the end of his presidency, his term, he was not doing well health-wise. I don't know exactly what, maybe just getting older. I'm ignorant on what the issue was, but he was still the president, so most historians, I believe, agree that people would hand like executive orders for him to sign, and then he was totally the one signing it because he was completely coherent and not essentially like dying. But Edith Wilson, shout out to her. It's Warren G. Harding. Then it's Calvin Coolidge. And then Herbert Hoover. And then FDR. And then Eisenhower. They killed the president, John F. Kennedy. We'll be studying that later, children. Don't worry. They killed the president in 1963, and you should know that if you're an American. Oh my goodness, I forgot Harry Truman. How could I do that? Nixon. After Nixon, it was Ford. Ladies and gentlemen, our national nightmare has ended, and I am the president. And my first act as president will be to pardon Richard Nixon. Maybe it wasn't the first thing he did, but you get the point. Jimmy Carter, Mr. Peanut Farm. Then Reagan. Then Clinton. Oh my goodness, not then Clinton, frickin' HW. It's gonna be HW then W. It's not like it's right in front of me, too. HW, Bill Clinton, W. Obama, Trump. It's gonna be him twice because he's non-consecutive, and Joe Biden. And you spell James Buchanan with an H. And he was the 15th president. I did that in 2 minutes? That felt like it was longer. Resigned. Richard Nixon, the only president to resign. This is an interesting chart. There we go. the historical rankings. Some objectively good presidents. Hey, I'm the original president. I'm a pretty good president. These two. I was president for longest. FDR. I'm Abraham Lincoln. Maybe the greatest. Teddy Roosevelt. Pretty darn good. The worst president. Hey, it's Donald Trump. What are you doing here? This guy was in Big L. So were you. You were Abraham Lincoln's VP. Big disappointment. Yep, I agree with that. Warren G. Harding, also an L. The first 5 presidents, they were all right. Just ignore that they owned slaves. These presidents, these 5, man, this was a generational run. FDR, Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, LBJ. I mean, that's probably the best 5 presidents we've had in a row ever. That's pretty damn good. In my opinion, who is the greatest president? In my opinion, it's either Lincoln or FDR. I give FDR the nod because he was president for 4 terms. Abraham Lincoln was literally martyred for America. He died so the United States could endure. What have you done for America? Excuse me. I don't complain if you have either of those as 1 or 2. I really don't. And then number 3 is where it gets to be a little bit more of a challenge. Here we go. What does the 2024 poll say? Lincoln, Roosevelt, Washington. I mean, you gotta give him credit. I think maybe he's just number 3 by default, but I mean, by God, he owned a lot of slaves in his life. I'm gonna dock some points for that, for sure, because not all the founding fathers were pro-slavery. There were very few that were anti-slavery. Shout out to this guy, because it's just common sense to be an abolitionist when literally no one is. Is that accurate? Yes. Well, Paine was critical of slavery, declared himself to be an abolitionist. Based. I'm one of the... I think there were like 9... I can't remember the exact number, but there were very few founding fathers that were anti-slavery. George Washington owned slaves. Fascinating. Where's the number? What is the number I'm looking for? The amount of founding fathers who were... It's a low number. But it's U.S. history. So yeah, I was ranking the presidents. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I'm okay with the general consensus. Us. There we go. I might put Teddy Roosevelt above George Washington. Harry Truman, objectively good president. Kennedy and Johnson, underrated. I would have them ahead of Obama. Sorry, Barack. There you go. Fun times. There you go. I named all the presidents in order. If you want to go back and rewatch that, that's what I'm talking about, the presidents. Woo! Good times. Good times. The history of America. Amazing. Well, there's been nothing going on in the news recently. It's been a quiet news. There's been nothing happening in the news recently. The news has been silent. Silent as the grave. There's no news. There's no news happening. Time to react to some stuff on the internet. Mr. Beast Feastival's getting too big?
Are you still running into heaps of problems with festivals?
Oh yeah, of course. It's hard to scale up. The supply chain and everything, cocoa prices are through the roof. The thing is, there's so many different SKUs. If you look at Hershey's, every year they have over 70 different SKUs that do over $10 million a year in revenue. So you have like your Halloween SKUs, you have your Easter SKUs, and you have all your flavors, and you put them in multi-packs, and you put smaller bars in multi-packs and bigger bars. There's so much complexity. And then like our bars here in Australia, obviously we have the Australia nutrition label here, but that's different than the one in America, and different than the one in Canada, because Canada you gotta do French and English. So you have 24 SKUs, but then you have to have different wrappers. So now all of a sudden you're actually making like literally 100 different.
It's gonna be really hard to be Mr. Beast. It's gonna be really hard to be Jimmy. Oh, is it
2025? Are you serious, bro? I'm gonna be like 50 years old, bro. I might not even be alive. Oh my god, why are they making us wait? GTA 6. 2020 fucking 6! Next year, I'm gonna be 21. I'm getting old. GTA 6 delayed. So you swear. Like everyone, Grand Theft Auto will now release on Thursday, November 19th, 2026.
God damn, bro. How could this happen? How could this happen? React to reacting
Day
to
drinking and
reacting.
smoking cigarettes in a public park at 3 p.m. on a rainy day.
I watched that video when it dropped. Shout out to Jacob Jones. Let's give my boy Nick the Smoker, the all-time goated YouTuber, the Smoke Tuba, the Sig Tuba. Welcome to SigTube, invented by Nick the Smoker. Bro, I remember sitting on the bus in high school watching this dude. I didn't even smoke cigarettes then. I don't now. They're pretty gross. Oh, everybody, Nick the Smoker, coming at you with another cigarette review. Today I'll be smoking on Marlboro Red. Verify my age? What is this, communist China? No, thank you. I thought I lived in America. I guess I do live in America. Nick the Smoker. Everyone's favorite. Hey everybody, Nick the Smoker coming at you with another cigarette review. Today, there'll be American Spirit Marlboro. American Spirit Marlboro? Whoo! Whoo! I think I took my stupid pills today. I'll be smoking on American Spirit Marlboro, please. I'd like to pick up American Spirit Marlboro. No, it's Marlboro frickin' Red. I already messed up his intro. American Spirit Marlboro. God damn it. I named all the presidents in order. That's what I used all my brain power for, even though I might have left out Harry Truman. Okay, whatever.
How y'all doing? Nick the Smoker here. Coming with another review here.
Didn't say cigarette review. No way. Liked this video. Based.
And this is going to be the legendary.
When does it start raining?
Marlboro Red.
Yeah, it's a legendary
Nice.
cig.
I've seen people do reviews before. So we're about halfway.
Oh,
right
he's
now on
taking
the
a
cigarette
puff
already.
off that ciggy.
3 to switch to. And you know, with the coupons that I get now, great
With
body
the coupons
to
that I get now, I can get a
to make up your
carton
mind
of cigs. Cool. Who doesn't love a good cigarette? Such a good role model for the kids. All right, don't smoke. It's bad for you. Don't smoke. Hey, I think I've seen this guy before. He's pretty good. All right, what else? There's just too much to react to. Too much. Oh, now they're trying to teach me how to play the harmonica. Oh my goodness. I just realized it's the first time I've gone live since another founding member of the Grateful Dead has died. Goddamn, Bob Weir, R.I.P. Hey, Bob. We thank you for your service. Where's my... There you go. That was in tribute. Yeah, I saw Bob Weir live 4 times. R.I.P. Bob. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to the Grateful Dead. It's a damn shame. I thought he was gonna live forever. Yeah. That's something I didn't want to react to, but I had to. If YouTube wasn't an autocratic dictatorship, I'd be playing the Grateful Dead right now. We'd have something to listen to instead of just me. We can listen to royalty-free music. I want to click on this so bad, but I can't. Whoops. Well, there we go. So, guys, it's been a pretty slow news week. Not a lot going on in the news. I haven't seen this video from my boy, Mr. Zilla. What's he got to say about all this? Oh, it only gets worse? Does it only get worse? I don't know if I... Oh, come on. Make it get better. Make it get better. Come on. All right. I don't know what I'm doing. It's the Nick Moore Show Live. That's what I'm doing. There we go. Hold on. Sorry, I just got to get my protein in. Man, these files. This man was up to no good, and that is the understatement of the decade. Yeah, this whole thing is just probably the greatest political scandal in United States history. Which is a crazy thing to say, but I think in this case, I mean, by God, what? Yeah. Just makes every other political scandal that I'm aware of look like a walk in the park. What were you doing, bro? What were you doing, Chomsky? This guy. He's so old. What the heck were you up to, bro? Whoops, thought you were based. No, you're not. Whoopsie daisies. You're up to no good. That's not good. Oh, Mr. Zilla. What have you got to tell me about this? Definitely nothing good. There's nothing good about any of that. Does Twitter got to say anything good? Is there anything I can react to on here that is worth reacting to? No way, is that real? This could be completely fake, but I would believe it. Yeah, he's alive. I knew it was fake. I knew it was fake before I even... Oh, wait. No, what? He's in the hospital. Yo, whoever made that the first photo that pops up. That's crazy. Damn. Not Mitch McConnell. No, bro. Not Mitch. Not cocaine Mitch, bro. Rest in power. Yeah. Gone too soon. Okay, here we go. What do you got to say about this guy being in the files? The Brian Johnson sitch is George all messed up. Oh yeah, George. He could have been the chosen one. Are you an idiot? This guy's not the solution, so Elon Musk is? George. Okay, George. All right, George. Nope. Hey, it's Asante Samuel. Hey, it's you. You almost made a catch in the Super Bowl, but you didn't. I know it hurts to know. Okay. Okay. How about you catch that interception in the Super Bowl, please? Hey guys, follow me on Twitter, alright? I'm on Twitter. There I am. That's me. I'm on Twitter. You don't want to miss it. Definitely. Alright. Any, Oh, someone scored a lot of points. Wow, oh my goodness. That's so amazing. Yeah, there's no news. There's nothing good. There's nothing good going. Oh, get me off of this website. This website's terrible. Alright, there we go. Oh, this is even worse. This is also even worse. Just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. That's tough. Oh, the Joe Rogan Epstein experience. He had a lot of people on that were involved in that. Yeah, I mean this whole this whole Epstein files situation is just absolutely nuts, completely crazy. Yeah, just insanity. I mean, all of the facts we're learning about it seem to be like they're hyperbolic or whatever, or not. I don't know, just insane that all of this stuff is actually real. I've seen a couple breakdowns of it, but nothing too insane. Or nothing, I don't know. Well, all the information has been very insane. I guess just for myself, I haven't dug too deep into it. I guess I've seen enough where it's like, all right, I get it. These rich people were up to, like, demonic activities and no good, you know? And that, again, understatement of the century. So... yeah, there we go. If you want a good breakdown of the files, check out my boy, Secular Talk, Kyle Kalinske. Did a great, like, hour-long breakdown of it. Right here. This video right here. It's pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. Good video. Good coverage, though. Just, it's a crazy time, but it's usually always a crazy time. Yao Ming first matchup with Shaq? No way. I can totally watch that on here. Oh, alright. Well, Mr. Coffeezilla, I'm gonna... what have you got to tell us about this? React to this.
It only gets worse from here. We're going back into the 3 million documents. So far, we mostly covered how billionaires lied about their relationship with Epstein and or got blackmailed in the drafts.
All the people lying through their teeth in this, crazy. Absolutely nuts. Before he gets really into it, I just want to, and before I forget, I want to see... yeah, this is like a 3-minute clip. But
I have to acknowledge...
I gotta react to this. I mean, how many... oh, it's got 1.5 million views. When I saw this when it dropped, and it had like 20,000... I guess I saw this video early, and I was like, wow, that's not a lot of views. I'm surprised. I thought a lot more people would be interested. Boy, oh boy, 1.5 million. All right, this is nuts. I will say personally, when this woman divorced, when Melinda divorced Bill, I was like, yeah. I mean, what do you know that we don't?
I have to acknowledge the elephant in the room at this moment. Your ex-husband, Bill, is named in the newest tranche of Epstein files, and there are a new alleged details about his past behavior, and I want to give you the opportunity to respond in whatever way you want to.
Well, let me say this. I think we're having a reckoning as a society, right? No girl should ever be put in the situation that they were put in by Epstein and whatever was going on with all of the various people around him. No girl. I mean, it's beyond heartbreaking, right? I remember being those ages those girls were. I remember my daughters being those ages, right? So for me, it's personally hard whenever those details come up, right? Because brings back memories of some very, very painful times in my marriage. But I have moved on from that. I purposely pushed it away and I moved on. I'm in a really unexpected, beautiful place in my life. So whatever questions remain there of what I can't even begin to know all of it, those questions are for those people and for even my ex-husband. They need to answer to those things, not me.
Well,
and I am so happy to be away from all the muck that was there.
I have to put more words
How
to the
long were you
muck.
married to this guy for? I have nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. Okay.
For context for our listeners, the emails in the files suggest that Bill Gates had additional affairs and that he tried to get medication to treat a sexually transmitted infection and that he was going to give you the medicine without you knowing. His representative has said all of this is false. It is not on you to have to respond to the details of that alleged behavior, but I wonder what your dominant emotion is when you read these news articles with these details.
Sad. Just unbelievable sadness. Unbelievable sadness, right? And again, I'm able to take my own sadness and look at those young girls and say, my God, how did that happen to those girls, right? And so for me, it's just sadness for, I left my marriage. I had to leave my marriage. I wanted to leave my marriage. I had to leave I felt I needed to eventually leave the foundation. So it's just sad. That's the truth, right? And it's kind of like, at least for me, I've been able to move on in life. And I hope there's some justice for those now women, right? We see them standing up in front of microphones in D.C. What they went through is just unimaginable, I think.
Well, there you go. She does call for justice at the end there, so that's good. Why isn't anyone in jail? Money doesn't change you, it unmasks you. Tom Fogarty. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, this woman's got to watch what she says, but I mean, also at the same time, it's like, it's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty nuts. Married to this guy for a long time, too. He got married in 1994. Divorced in 2021, and then like the proceedings started in 2019. So again, it's like, what did you know then? What did you know in 2019? And when did he get killed? 2019, yeah, August 10th, 2019. Or he committed suicide. Yeah, hey, I hope there's justice in this situation, too. I mean, obviously. Crazy. All right, back to CoffeeZilla.
Eventually killing their marriage. We talked about Howard Lutnick, how he lied about meeting Epstein, although he still denies this. And we also talked about some horrible accusations against Trump and Bill Clinton, although we were clear that they are unverified. Now, some people have responded to the release, like Elon Musk, saying that no one fought harder for the full release of the Epstein files than I did. Ironically, he claims that he knew that the playbook of the far left propagandists and legacy media is admit nothing, deny everything, and making counteract accusations, saying he had never set foot on Epstein's creepy island or attended parties, despite the fact we saw last time that Elon was asking to be invited to the party. What day and night would be the wildest party on your island? Nevertheless, I think it's an interesting
Bro, come on, Elon.
point. The playbook, as we get into this much darker side of the 3.5 million files, you're going to notice this trend is true, that everyone we're going to talk about, basically they admit nothing, they deny everything, and then they usually make counter accusations against other people in the files. Almost no one has faced any kind of consequences for this whole thing, leading me to wonder, why is it that it seems like really only in the rest of the world has anyone faced anything? I mean, you've got the former Prince Andrew losing his title. You've got the Slovakia National Security Advisor resigning over the Epstein links. But in America, I'm really hard-pressed to think of anyone who has actually faced any kind of accountability. I think Larry Summers stepped back voluntarily. But other than that, it's hard to think of anyone who's faced any kind of justice. In fact, arguably, Ghislaine Maxwell's life is better than it was previously since these...
That's always the fact about this thing that has blown my mind, is that she is still alive. Like, this woman knows everything, right? I mean... The idea that she doesn't is ridiculous, and she's still alive. She's in prison, right? Is she in that MDC in Brooklyn? I think they moved her. She's got to be in a Supermax or something. Where the heck is she? Wherever she is, I mean, by God, I mean, the idea that this woman hasn't made some sort of deal with the government or something, you know, I mean, come on. I mean, that shit's just crazy. I don't know where she is right now, whatever. MDX Florence, I think, in Colorado, or whatever. ADX Florence, I think. I don't know what that stands for, but it's a Supermax prison, so... I don't know. Her husband is dead. FCI, Tallahassee, Florida, okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah, all right. I'm a total idiot. It's who was I thinking of that's in like a actual prison? Because yeah, that's the deal with this woman, Ghislaine, is that she is in a low security. She's in like a country club prison. It's the exact. You would think she's in a Supermax. You would think that if there was justice, you would put someone of this caliber there, but no, she gets to go to like the country club white collar prison. Again, the idea that there wasn't some deal made between her and the government, or, you know, the perpetrators of this whole ordeal. I mean, come on. And then again, like, the feds are doing a better job of doxing the victims than they are the people who perpetrated this. It's like just comically evil. It's crazy.
Epstein files have dropped. And what's crazy about this is that we know that the government story is false. Remember, the FBI documents showed they had 10 co-conspirators they were investigating. We also got an old draft of an indictment where they had several co-defendants with Epstein. Now, of course, we know these were never ultimately charged. This was back in 2005, but just imagine all the way back in 2005, where these charges are from, we already had evidence that Epstein was not working alone, and, like, of course he's not. But now we're going to talk a little bit about how the scheme operated. Now, to be clear, we're going to talk in a second about the laundering of Epstein's reputation, the people who protected him this whole time. But right now, I want to talk about how Epstein got some of these girls in the first place, because the Epstein files provide an interesting look behind the curtains. Obviously, we know Ghislaine Maxwell was helping, whether it be procure the girls, talk them into stuff. But now we have emails of a different side of the scheme. It says, yesterday I spoke to Daniel Syed, who Jean-Luc Brunel describes as a scout or recruiter of girls or women for Jeffrey Epstein. Attached to this incoming email from Brunel is the contact information he has for Syed. And then they blacked out his number and email. But digging into Jeffrey's emails with Daniel shows that he was constantly sending him links to girls. It shows Jeffrey Epstein paying Daniel 3,000 euros, which, to be clear, was the amount that was agreed to by Jean-Luc Brunel. Quote, Dominique, we will pay him 3,000 euros each month for scouting for a 6-month period. On all models we will get him, we will pay him 5% commission on their earnings. Imagine it's like baseball or it's like basketball. You're scouting for, I hate to use the word talent, but that's really what this guy was doing. He was going around the globe trying to find people for Jeffrey Epstein and Jean-Luc Brunel. According to one lawsuit, Epstein trafficked a Jane.
I believe he also killed himself in French prison. This guy, who I know very little about, other than they are implicated together. And, oh yeah, he also happened to hang himself. Wow. Yeah, of course, right?
To Jean-Luc Brunel many times. It describes their operation as this. Many of the girls came from poor countries or impoverished backgrounds. He lured them in with a promise of making good money. Quote, Brunel has been a model scout for various modeling agencies for many years, and he was apparently able to get U.S. passports for young girls to work as models, eventually, of course, being sent to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, it should be noted that Jean-Luc Brunel himself died in prison by hanging, and that's while he was being accused of horrible crimes related to trafficking and minors. So this guy is not a good guy. He was part of the op along with Daniel Syed, who was also scouting on behalf of Epstein and Jean-Luc Brunel. They had their agreement. Here's a sample of how this would work. Jeffrey Epstein asked him to take a full body shot of someone. Daniel Syed says, now she is really skinny, I will do Polaroid. Jeffrey Epstein asks for a copy of her passport and then asks, how many tickets do you want for Woody, meaning Woody Allen? He says 2. Okay, thank you. Full body if possible. And then Jeffrey Epstein says, doesn't look too happy. Comments on her body, and then he says she is very sweet. I'll skip a few of the sordid details here. They comment about her body extensively. And then Jeffrey Epstein says, I sent a request. Does she want to come out to Paris?
Just so creepy. Just the creepiest shit ever. Just so creepy and weird. I mean, like, most obvious statement ever. But, like, ugh. I mean, all of this crap and garbage. I mean, yeah. I mean, like CoffeeZilla said, like it seems like there are some consequences internationally for some other people, but nothing really here. And some of my buddies were telling me that, like, I guess Trump, I don't know if he actually said this or not, but he said, all right, now the files are out, we can move on or whatever or something. Basically all my friends who are relatively apolitical, I mean, none of them, I think, voted for Trump, probably lean liberal, but some of them voted for Trump, I know. I mean, they were all like, yeah, suspicious, you know, and I mean, that is their worst nightmare. I mean, the people who are really paying attention to this shit were like, yeah, there's something up here, but now, I mean, you're getting the apolitical people, the people not really paying attention to this, to be like, what the hell is going on? I mean, this is a scandal of proportions that, again, I don't think we've ever seen before in the United States. I mean, insanity.
On Sunday, he says, I will invite to come. And this is basically how it worked. Daniel Syed flew around the world looking for women, sending photos to Jeffrey Epstein, who then would get copy of their passports and bring him to the States. Here's an example of this. Daniel Syed brings him a girl. They didn't redact this name, but I'm going to do it. He says, very nice, easygoing, dream to work in United States or visit the United States working as a model in Dubai. He asks age. Daniel says 22 or 23. I forgot to ask her. She looks younger. I have her number if you want to call her. She was going to send this evening. And this happens over and over. At one point, he talks about a Thai actress. Jeffrey Epstein says he can see her on Wednesday, and then he complains that she wants to meet in a restaurant. I don't do that in New York, and then says she didn't even respond. Not nice. The point is, a lot of these girls were looking to come to the United States for one reason or another, for some kind of dream. They would ask for passports or visas, and then ultimately get sent here by this network of people who would later be accused of trafficking or other abuses. Now, to be clear, there have not been charges against Daniel Syed, and the government, remember, says they have no evidence to go even predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. So it's a little bit bizarre to be reading about this scouting operation for Jeffrey Epstein, the way he recruited girls, and then be told, yeah, nothing to see here. Yeah, one of the scouts was like this, like, who himself in jail. But no, there's no one else here, even though there's definitely...
Yeah, just completely forget about that. Don't use your brain or think about that at all. And again, yeah, the guy totally killed himself, obviously. Yep.
Guys floating around. Even though,
don't even question that.
So we literally have redacted defendants in our old draft of an indictment. We have nothing to do. We can't possibly imagine doing anything. And that brings me to one of the frustrating parts of these whole files is the redactions. I mean, I know I've been over this, but it's a different thing. In the past, the files were sort of overly redacted to protect people. The problem this time is not only are a lot of people still being protected, like literally the names of the people they were gonna charge, you couldn't argue those are victims, but the work was just done so sloppy that oftentimes you'll find that the DOJ has uploaded 2 documents that are functionally identical and they redacted one but not the other, letting you see what's ultimately behind the mask, which is dumb because sometimes the thing they're redacting is Jeffrey Epstein's name. Or other times it's somebody who clearly is not a victim because then you see the non-redacted copy and you're like, yeah, that's clearly not a victim. So it's a little strange what they seem to have done here. Let me give you a for instance. So we have this message from somebody whose name is blacked out, and we see participants, and then we see Jeffrey Epstein is involved, right? And it says, we need to work around your 38. We need to push back on the lies, then crush the pedo trafficking narrative, then rebuild your image as a philanthropist. Now, I want to know who's doing that. Who's
just an entire scheme revolving around making this guy's image out to be something that he's not, clearly. Concealing all of this. I mean, just the...
trying to rebuild Jeffrey Epstein's image, right? Well, we go ahead, we scroll down, and we see that Jeffrey Epstein sends something. He says, in any bar where drinking age is 18, and you see the participant is once again blacked out. But underneath it, in a separate file, we see Steve Bannon, a famous political figure, is in here, and he's saying the same thing. He says, first, we need to push back on the lies, then crush the trafficking narrative, then rebuild your image as a philanthropist. Guys, why did you censor out his name? Or like, why was that censored at all? I don't understand. And I certainly don't understand why Jeffrey Epstein's name in this one is censored. So Jeffrey's not censored in this one, but Bannon is, and then Bannon's not censored in this one, and Epstein is. And sometimes this creates the bizarre impression that they are censoring for victim names or for some like kind of victim status or for some reason. And then you see the other file and you're like, wait, why did you do this? It's just very poorly done throughout. That's just something I wanted to comment on, is not only did they once again not fully redact things because they were sloppy, but also like victims' names got stuck in this, like girls' names appear sometimes, and like I'm not sure, are they supposed to be redacted? Because they're redacted over here, they're not over here. I can kind of figure out who it is. It's just kind of a mess. I needed to point that out. You know, other times we have things like this, like Brock Pierce, a co-founder of Tether, also known as the biggest stable coin in the world. He sent a message to Jeffrey Epstein with the subject line Anastasia, and then it's just a bunch of redacted stuff with a few untitled JPEGs in here. And so, you know, you're thinking to yourself, what is this? Is he sending some illicit media? Like, what is this? Well, then we have this page where it wasn't redacted. I put that little dark square that I didn't know if this should have been redacted or not. But it's like a bunch of JPEGs. Now, does that contain victims? Is Brock Pierce sending photos of victims? I don't know because of the way the government did this. But underneath, it says, the Ukraine is now my favorite country, smiley face, Brock Pierce, with the subject line Anastasia. I don't know what to make of that. I'm just saying the redactions, like the way they did this is not good. But now let's return to Steve Bannon and his we're gonna crush the trafficking narrative, because this guy, oh boy, has been revealed in the files to being like Jeffrey's right-hand PR man. I mean, this guy was filming basically a documentary about Jeffrey Epstein in order to rehabilitate his image. And some of it has actually leaked to the public. It's been interesting to watch how that's been received. But the funny thing is that originally Jeffrey Epstein's plan was to just do a YouTube video, like an apology, like a old school 2016, turn on the camera for authenticity and saying, he says, do you think I can do my own video interview and upload it to YouTube? No sandbagging, interview format, or like a diary piece. Steve Bannon says, if you do an interview, it can't be like Johnny does a YouTube. It has to be amazingly professional and perfectly cut. Then Jeffrey Epstein responds, Woody, we assume Woody Allen, because they were close, said he would help edit. Not sure how to stage, what points to make, but better than trying to do an interview that I have no experience doing. Goal is to humanize the monster. Anything written carries little weight, to which Steve Bannon replies, yes, Jeffrey Epstein, should it be an interview format, interviewed by me? They start talking about, like, how do we do this? Humor, apology, how did I get rich? Question mark, topics. Their brainstorming, how do we trick the public into seeing me as more than a monster? Now, funny enough, right before this, Jeffrey Epstein asks about a dinner with Woody, and then he says, or too many pedos in one place.
Oh my God.
And you gotta love the self-awareness there. Now, I don't know what he meant by that. To be clear, I'm not making that accusation against Woody Allen. We'll talk about him in a second. That's Jeffrey Epstein saying that. I think what's interesting to point out, though, is how all these rich and powerful people are circling the wagons to try to protect Jeffrey Epstein's reputation, right? This is a guy who at this point has been known for years to have pled guilty to these 2008 charges. This was an open secret. And so Steve Bannon goes along though anyways, and he films this documentary. Now what's interesting is he starts talking about the documentary and he starts saying, I'm watching our second hour now. Guys were blown away. I didn't think it was as strong at the time, but I was wrong. Need huge part about threat of AI versus reality, threat of climate change. And this is where the notes start going back and forth of how can we get you to think of other things? So part of the conceit of this big interview of Jeffrey Epstein was to try to humanize him and actually present him as this genius, everyman, quirky guy with a few flaws, right? They knew they couldn't run away from the crimes. To quote, in Bannon's words, yes, 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 of course, but we must counter rapists who traffics in female children to be by world's most powerful, richest men. That can't be redeemed. Can't redeem the unredeemable. You are a lot of things which we will show, but you are not that. Bannon is aware that like they can't fully embrace the Epstein thing. They have to kind of make it about more than that. And if you see the YouTube clip going around, that's what that is. And it's been so interesting to watch the reaction because you see, even for people who've been prepped with the idea that this is basically propaganda, some of them still fall for it. They post things like, you know, oh, bro is casually confirming the world's conspiracies because he's talking about 2008. But guys, that's the whole deception. They're like trying to be like, hey, this guy, this horrible monster, he's going to tell you the secrets of the inside club. So you think more, that's the whole thing. That's how they're getting away with this. It's not some kind of, oh, he happened to want to talk about this. This is all premeditated. This has gone through revisions. They even called Jeffrey Epstein the smartest guy in the room.
Look, you're the smartest guy in the room, right? You know that.
It's honestly ridiculous anyone believes the false conceit of, you're obviously the smartest man in the room. You could tell us the world's secrets. I mean, this guy, honestly, he talks about some of his engagements, like with the Rockefeller board, and he tries to say that owning a calculator is why he got that.
It was very advanced in those days to have a Texas Instrument calculator where it could, by putting in the numbers, it would multiply for you to do square roots. And that was the first, and everyone who had a calculator was already advanced on Wall Street. The most important parts of business were really now going to calculations. Places like Rockefeller needed someone to say, look, we're entering a different world where numbers and the numbers of companies, portfolio management was going to be balanced. It was going to be statistical. Jeffrey, could you come on the board, potentially sit on the finance committee?
So we're honestly supposed to believe that Jeffrey Epstein got onto this prestigious Rockefeller board because he had a calculator, but also that he's the smartest guy in the room, the smartest man on Wall Street. And let's not talk about those horrific crimes he committed because, you know, he's not really such a bad guy after all. But it wasn't just Steve Bannon that was trying to humanize or giving advice on how to humanize Epstein. It was also Richard Branson, the famous billionaire, he was caught emailing Jeffrey Epstein saying, "Dear Jeffrey, it was really nice seeing you yesterday. The boys in water sports can't stop speaking about it. Anytime you are in the area, would love to see you as long as you bring your harem." I don't know, that's not that ambiguous, guys. I think we can imagine what that means. But anyways, he says, one, I think if Bill Gates was willing to say that you've been a brilliant advisor to him, that you slipped up many years ago by sleeping with a 17-and-a-half-year-old and were punished for it, that you've more than learned your lesson and have done nothing that's against the law since. And yes, as a single man, you have a penchant for women, but there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, something along those lines. He's giving him PR advice. How to get your reputation back. Hey, Jeffrey, privately, I loved you. You can come back anytime with your harem. Jeffrey Epstein responds, nice seeing you. Thanks for your hospitality. I appreciate your public relations thoughts. Now, according to the New York Times, a Branson representative said the two had a business meeting and stressed the women were adults and had not attended the meeting. All above board. That's what everyone says, by the way. Remember what Elon Musk said, right? That's the playbook. Admit nothing, deny everything. Speaking of, remember Howard Lutnick, who we showed on video saying that he had never seen Epstein since 2005.
So I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or for even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he's gross.
Although also calling him the greatest blackmailer ever.
This guy was the greatest blackmailer ever.
Well, also according to the Times, Lutnick said he spent zero time with him, even though there are emails basically to the contrary, where Epstein is saying, nice seeing you after the conviction. I mean, these people, not only are they lying, they won't even admit when they've been caught lying. But now let's talk about Prince Andrew, too, who was caught lying over a woman at some kind of a party. I mean, just not a good, this is not doing you any favors, you know. I know Prince Andrew soon will probably be on the comeback tour. It's going to be a bunch of highly paid PR execs. Maybe Steve Bannon can jump in, shoot another 5-hour podcast trying to rehabilitate him. Like, Prince Andrew, what's the secret behind the royal family?
Look, you're the smartest guy in the room.
But again, has he admitted anything? Has he denied everything? Now, we should also probably talk about Noam Chomsky as well, the guy behind the book Manufacturing Consent, which in hindsight, maybe we should have suspected something. But either way, he also sends some reputational advice to his buddy Jeffrey Epstein. He says, I watched the horrible way you've been treated by the press and public. It's painful to say, but I think the best way to proceed is to ignore it. When the vultures dearly want is a public response, which then provides a public opening. In general, I think it's best not to react unless directly questioned, particularly in the current mood. That's the best advice I can think of. Noam. Now, he sends that to Matthew.
Noam Chomsky, bro. What the fuck? Yes, the American empire is evil and wrong. But my buddy Jeffrey Epstein, oh, you're giving him a raw deal. Bro. What?
Hiltzik of Hiltzik Strategies, who is a also famous PR guy, I guess, trying to help Epstein, I assume, who responds, I think that is wise. Now, later talking with Bannon, Epstein loops in Hiltzik again. He says, Matt Hiltzik thought your idea was epic. Hypocrisy of the liberal left. Then he says, yep, he would confidentially like to sit and help if you like. This is Matthew Hiltzik. You know, a lot of powerful people basically were bending over backwards, left, right, center, trying to rehabilitate this guy's image. And the question is, why? Why were all these guys so interested in their precious Jeffrey Epstein if they had no involvement? I mean, that's the part I can't figure out it. Because all of them deny it. All of them don't admit anything. And so what exactly is the problem? But now it's time to talk about Elon Musk's brother, Kimball Musk. He was also in the files. Jeffrey was copied on an email talking about Kimball's 40th birthday, where the password to the secret party was P Riot. And then in all caps, Boris, the sender of this email, says, I am not joking about the password. This was in 2012 in September. Now that's important because a little bit later, Kimball Musk is emailing Boris Nikolic and Jeffrey Epstein, and he's talking to them about being connected with some redacted name and saying, I believe you both played a role, whatever that means. Now, whether this was at the party or, you know, right after their meeting in October, I don't know. But what's interesting is Boris responds and says, Kimball, just FYI, you better be nice to redacted. Jeffrey goes crazy when someone mistreats his girls/friends, so better be very nice to her. Kimball Musk responds, message received, wide and clear. Then he says, seriously, I'm very happy with my time so far with Jennifer. She's great. Now, again, Was that supposed to be a redacted name we just read? Like, I don't know. They've been redacting it in earlier emails. Then all of a sudden you just get Jennifer. I can't really figure that out. But what I can figure out is that a little while later, a few days later, Jeffrey Epstein gets an email. Now, we know Kimball credits the meetup and says Boris and Epstein were responsible in some way for this. But now Jeffrey Epstein's being emailed about Jen's schedule. Is that Jennifer? I mean, it seems like it because Jen's schedule for the rest of the year, and it seems like the assistant has copy and pasted Jen's response because she says, Sue, these would be dates in November, and then starts saying, this, she can go to New York. She says the 29th to the 7th, she's free. Kimball to New York. Then she says, Kimball, Jen, London. Kimball, Jen, London to Morocco, ? Then she has a break, and then it's Jen, Kimball, St. Bart's, assuming we're not sick of each other by the end of November. Now, I can't figure out why is she running this schedule about when she's hanging out with Kimball, who Jeffrey set her up with. Like, why is she running this by Elon Musk? To be clear, I don't know. There could be, I guess, innocent explanations for this. Maybe, I don't know. But all I see are constant, powerful people either being introed to girls, talking about the harem, talking about beautiful ladies, and the FBI, they can't figure it out. They have no evidence to even investigate third parties. Why? I guess because they're rich and powerful. Around the world, we're seeing resignations. We're seeing people lose their status. But here in the United States, we've got like multiple presidents in the files. We got the world's richest man in the files, several of the world's richest men in the files, and we just can't drum up any kind of evidence. It's just incredible to me. Now, I also want to talk about another rich and powerful person, and that is Peter Attia. He's a podcast bro. He's a longevity expert. And actually, funny enough, I read his book. And that's going to come into play here in a second because, oh boy, did I get some additional context. But let's start here.
I am familiar with Peter Attia. I saw him on Joe Rogan. I did not read his book. Curious to see what's in his book, though.
With something that Peter Attia sent Jeffrey Epstein. He says, subject, got a fresh shipment. And then Epstein responds, me too, and there's a completely redacted image. Is that a girl? Or is this bad redactions? We don't know, although we'll find out in a second because later Peter responded to this. But Peter says, please tell me you found that picture online. Jeffrey responds, got a fresh shipment, afraid not. Peter responds, the biggest problem with becoming friends with you. The life you lead is so outrageous, yet I can't tell a soul. Why, Peter? Why can't you tell a soul? Why don't you tell us now? Now that it's all out in the open, why don't you tell us why you can't tell a soul the secrets or the life that Epstein leads? And then we get another redacted photo, right? And then some more images, and Peter says, please tell me that's not where you actually are. And Jeffrey says, you can see the gym in the middle, just me and 4. And Peter says, I think you might have a more interesting life than the Dos Equis guy. Is this off the coast of France? No, it's my island in the Caribbean near St. Thomas. If you go to Google Earth and type in Little St. James. Beautiful. Isn't that nice? Behind closed doors, it's beautiful. In public, we'll hear about what a monster this guy is, right? But behind closed doors, when nobody's watching, oh, it's beautiful. There's some other stuff Peter Attia said.
It's like that Hillary Clinton line. You got to have a public position and a private position.
Which I'm not going to get into. I don't think it's very, appropriate for medical professionals to be saying such things. But, this wasn't all business, right? This wasn't just doctor-patient kind of stuff. There's a lot of guy talk, a lot of banter between the fellas about ladies. And maybe that's why Peter Attia says that hopefully Jeffrey Epstein is in town when I'm back in 2 weeks. I go into Jeffrey Epstein withdrawal when I don't see him. So guys, these two were close. I mean, apparently so close that, Peter Attia goes into withdrawal when he doesn't see him.
He's addicted to Jeffrey Epstein. Whoa.
Peter Attia says, are you on island? Jeffrey Epstein says, P Beach, probably Palm Beach. And he says, what do you do when you get there? Jeffrey Epstein, guess. Peter Attia, besides that, I mean, they're not even trying to hide it, guys. This is barely code at this point. What do you do? Guess. Well, besides that, Jeffrey, we know what you do, right? So it's so funny that the FBI is like, we don't know. We can't tell what's out there. We have no evidence, right? No evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties, and then proceed to dump on us a ton of evidence, at least to investigate, right? I'm not saying these people are guilty. Obviously, all of them deny, don't admit, blame other people, say other people are responsible for everything. So that is taken as a given. I am not accusing anyone here. I'm just saying, seems like we got a few leads here, fellas. Some people to look at. Now, I want to address the fact that Peter Attia has actually responded to this whole debacle. He says the following email is what I sent my team last night. I sent a similar version to my patients as well. You put your trust, your credibility, your hard work, what we built together, and I take that responsibility seriously. You deserve a complete and honest account of what did and did not happen. I apologize it did not get this out sooner. I wanted to be thorough. He says, I was not involved in any criminal activity. My interactions had nothing to do with his abuse or exploitation of anyone. I was never on his plane, never on his island, never present at any parties. That said, I apologize and regret putting myself in a position where emails, some of them embarrassing, tasteless, and indefensible, are now public. So it's this apology. You know, he addresses some of the things, and he says that some of it's just banter, right? Like I said, it's just guy talk, whatever that means. He claims that his got a fresh shipment,
it is just locker room talk,
was in reference to a photograph of bottles of metformin, and then Jeffrey responded with a photograph of an adult woman. I responded with crude, tasteless banter. He says one line in that exchange about his life being outrageous and me not being able to tell anyone is being interpreted as awareness of wrongdoing. That's not how I meant it at all. What I was referring to poorly and flippantly was the discretion commanded by those socials and professional circles. The idea you don't talk about who you meet. I don't know, Peter. This seems like revisionist history a little bit. I mean, personally, to me, as I'm viewing this, third hand, right? Just from the outsider perspective. Now, Peter says he did ask Jeffrey about his 2008 conviction, because all this happened afterwards, right? He characterized it as prostitution-related charges. In 2018, I learned that this was grossly minimized. I was incredibly naive to believe him, and then later explains that in 2018, November, he read the Miami Herald investigative article, told him he needed to accept responsibility for what he did, and said he even asked Epstein to provide therapy to Epstein's victims, which is an interesting approach to have here. Now, the funny thing is,
this is a breakdown of the Epstein files. This is from CoffeeZilla. It's on his second channel, Voidzilla. Subscribe to him if you haven't already, if this is interesting to you at all. He's really good at... he covers like a lot of crypto scams and just like a lot of investigative journalism and reporting on his own. He does a great job. Just watching this breakdown, because I've seen some other breakdowns of the files, but I did not watch his video, and I wanted to check this out. So I've just been reacting to this for a little bit. Thanks for the chat. Thanks for stopping by. Again, if this interests you, it's CoffeeZilla's second channel, Voidzilla.
There are some more emails between Peter Attia that we need to read, because remember that he said he read this 2018 article from the Miami Herald. I believe it's this one by Julia K. Brown in November 28th. It's about Jeffrey Epstein assembling a large cult-like network of underage girls. But in December, Peter Attia says, home is very good, work stressful, making some changes. He asks him, what's the fallout from the recent story? Apparently talking about the Miami Herald. Now,
appreciate you stopping by. If you're throwing something in the chat, if you have like a request for something you want me to look at, react, do something, whatever, throw it in the chat or whatever. Maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't, but I might get to it or whatever. This is just what I've been watching right now.
Maybe I just didn't see the emails, that where he was demanding accountability. I don't know what that's about, but Jeffrey Epstein says same as usual, just tougher. Peter Attia says legally any change. Jeffrey Epstein, 0. So, I don't know. Maybe this whole you got to provide therapy to, these victims happened. I haven't seen it yet. I definitely could see it. But it's just kind of shocking. I just kind of don't buy it. Like the whole, is there any change legally? That more sounds like you're covering yourself. I mean, just to be honest. But maybe I could look past all of that if not for the thing we're about to see, which just in my mind is maybe the worst thing I've seen in the files. Not for its, explicitness, the amount of simping that people did for Jeffrey Epstein. Now they all say, oh, it was a personal mistake, blah, blah, blah. I regret it. I didn't look into it enough. But the level is just You've never seen anything like it. So remember I said I read a book by Peter Attia. It was called Outlive, and he's supposed to be this doctor who knows a lot about longevity. So he writes it, and I picked it up because at the rate we're getting rid of these crimes, I need to live forever in order to try to stop some of these scams. But as I pick up this book, and one of the things in the book is Peter Attia kind of reflecting internally about how he's kind of been a bit, and I'm paraphrasing here, but a bit of a psycho in his life, and he needed to focus on family stuff. And so he kind of, it's almost a confessional of some embarrassing things in his life. And honestly, it comes off as very vulnerable, very self-reflective. You know, he's this doctor telling other people what to do, but he's not a very good patient. That's kind of how it comes off. And one of the stories is awful. I won't go too much into it, but basically his son has this horrible medical emergency. It's described in this book like this. A few months ago, Tuesday, July 11th, 2017, that date is important. At 5:45 to be exact, I received a call from Jill, my wife. She was in an ambulance with our infant son. Now, again, I'm not going to get into the details here because, it's tragic, and I'm not trying to bring that into it. What is relevant is that Peter Attia talks about how he stayed in New York and didn't show up because he was...
It depends. It depends how much you're willing to spend. It depends the quality of what you want to invest in. I mean, you want my opinion, the thing that should get the most of your resources and money, your computer. I mean, that's like the main, that's the brain of everything. Your audio is really important. This is a good microphone. I actually have a setup tour on my channel if you want to see that. I gave a pretty good in-depth breakdown of all the stuff I'm working with. It was from last year, but I'll do an updated one because some stuff has changed. I mean, it also depends if you just want audio only. You just need a microphone. If you want to stream, I mean, it's like, it's personal preference. Like, what do you like? What do you want to watch? I based my setup off of people's streams that I enjoyed and thought I wanted to watch. So I got my laptop webcam. I have like a bunch of lights set up, a green screen behind me. I got some video game consoles, and I have an Elgato, so I could like stream from that to my computer. Really, I mean, your essentials. If I was going to start over with nothing, you need a laptop, some sort of computer, microphone, camera, and if you start, it's very simple. You can start with that like bare bones setup, and you're kind of good to go, basically. iShowSpeed has a good video of like a $200 streaming setup that he used. He literally, I swear it was just like a Chromebook or something or whatever, and he streamed from his PlayStation. He would stream off of his laptop, but like connect the PlayStation to that. So there's tons. Literally, I used to think you need like, oh, you need a really good computer, you need a really good microphone, and all this, that, and the other. Like, I waited to like buy this microphone. This is like a professional quality mic, but COD or CS:GO, neither of those games are really too high demanding. If you just get like a basic like NVIDIA, what do I have? I like NVIDIA over AMD, but either one for your graphics card is fine. The laptop I have right now is a little expensive. This one was over like $1,000, and I got it for like school. The microphone I use is a Shure SM7B. It's like the industry standard for a podcast or whatever. This is like an expensive microphone. You don't need this to start. You can just get like a simple USB mic. Like literally, it's not that you don't need to go that crazy in the beginning. I mean, literally, just do whatever it takes to get it started. If you want to stream like COD or CSGO, those are not that demanding. You can probably get like a laptop for like maybe like $500, $600, somewhere in that range, and you'd probably be good to go. I mean, you wouldn't be playing the games at like 60 FPS on the best graphics, but you could definitely... it would be playable, and you could probably stream it, so that would definitely work. And then again, I mean, something a lot of people do in the beginning, it seems, is like play games on like a console or like PS5 or whatever, something like that, because that'll get it in good quality, and then just have it like streaming to your computer. So you're not playing the game on your computer. You can just stream from your console and then just have it like on OBS or whatever on your laptop. That's what I use to stream, just OBS, and it's completely free. So, I mean, honestly, if you just have like a terrible laptop and you can, or just a laptop, it doesn't have to be terrible or whatever, but if you just have a laptop that has like a built-in mic and a webcam, I mean, hey, it's not going to be the best quality, but you could stream with that. And I think a stream is better than no stream. A mistake I made was I like waited until I was like, I need to have the best equipment to start. It's like, no, you don't. You really just need enough to get it going. I appreciate all the questions, and thank you for hopping in the stream and commenting and whatnot and all that. I appreciate it. Thank you, Prophet, for the daily. I hope you're running it up on the daily. Rust and Ark are really good. I played Rust back when it like first came out. That game's fun. It's a classic. I think I might have it on Steam. I don't really play a lot of like super demanding games on my computer. Anything that's like Red Dead Redemption 2 or whatever, something like that, like a Rockstar game or whatever. I play all that on console. My computer can handle GTA 5, but I mean, yeah, you can definitely spend a lot, but you don't need to. You can find like some breakdowns online for like, entry-level gaming PCs. I mean, just throw it into AI or something on YouTube or whatever. There you go. I like the the grind and the rating of Rust. That's why I can't play that game, because I just build my fort and then I just log off to go to the gym or some shit, and then I just get raided. I'm just like, oh my god. It might be funny just to watch me tweak out playing that, but maybe not good for my sanity. That's Rust is a good game. I'm trying to... Were there any other games like that I kind of messed with? I played it a little bit when it first came out, but I haven't played it in a long time. Anything that kind of predated it? That was like the OG days of YouTube, like when I'd be watching, not like OG days of YouTube, but like before Fortnite, before Fortnite, there was this game Arma 2 or Arma 3, super realistic, like a military sim, and people would do like battle royale on that or whatever. So that was kind of like the predate of Rust or whatever, and then those games kind of... I need to react to my reactions. I'll do that. Just create an infinite loop. I've done that before on one stream. I just looped the whole thing. Did you just get recommended the channel? Is that how you found me? I don't know what the delay on this is or how long it is. Well, I hope you got recommended the channel. Or maybe I just told you to subscribe. No way. Wow, hey, thanks for giving me a chance. I appreciate it. That's crazy. That is nuts. Thanks for checking out the channel. Why not stop in? Why not, brother? Appreciate it. Hey, if you're not subscribed already and you want to stick around for more, hit that button. If you're just chilling this one time, thank you. Appreciate it. I know I'm reacting to the Epstein files right now. Really, really chill, vibey content. Just really light content for you just to stop in. Yeah. I don't know. I'm a big politics guy, so. Hey, man, thank you so much. Appreciate it. When did I make this channel? Now it's been like 2 years. So I got some older content on here. Nothing's like gone big or whatever. Clearly I have 100 subscribers, a little more. But I'm trying to go ham with streaming regularly for this new year. I mean, it's already freaking February, so. Oh yeah. Hey, subscribe to CoffeeZilla if you haven't already. This guy's brilliant. He's great. He does a really good breakdown of all this stuff. How much longer we got left in this video? Less than 10 minutes. I mean, he hasn't even covered some of the most nefarious stuff in here. The whole thing is freaking nuts. It's just crazy situation, so I feel like I had to react to this at least once. But yeah, thank you so much for the support, dude. And yeah, if you want to see anything or whatever, throw it in the chat, and maybe I'll get to it or whatnot. But thank you. Hey, and I guess I can't claim I'm shadow banned if I popped up on your channel. So there we go. And again, like I said, if you're interested, I did make a setup tour video where I kind of went more in depth over all the stuff I had. That's on my channel. And yeah, I Show Speed. He's done some good ones from when he was like starting. Those are really good. So DJ? No, I am not related to DJ Moore. Are you talking about the football player? There's I am not related to him at all. Where's he from? He was born in Philly. All right, he's an East Coast guy. And he played for Maryland. You a big football fan? I am a New Englander, so it's Let's Go Patriots. Very popular. As long as you're not a Giants fan, it's all right. I love the Giants. That's what you're gonna say. That'd be so funny. They beat us in the Super Bowl twice. It was really sad. I was really young, too, when it happened. Oh, I picked the Bears to make the Super Bowl. Oh, my God. Man. Well, there you go. I should have guessed the Bears. Not like DJ Moore plays for them. Oh, boy. When Caleb threw that pick, I was just like, how could you do this to me? I had y'all making the Super Bowl. I did. Oh, you can't. Ugh. I hate the Giants so much. Oh my God, the Giants broke my heart in 2007. I have talked about this so much. The greatest football team of all time. Lost in the Super Bowl. I was 6 years old when this game happened. Ooh, that's tough. I bet you hate the Patriots then if you like the Giants. It's not that deep, though. I know, it was a good, yeah, when was the last time you guys were in the playoffs? The Bears, I mean, yeah, I know you guys stole the Lions coordinator. He's been really good. I think it's good for the NFL when the Bears are a good team. Y'all beat us in the Super Bowl in 1980. Yeah, 1985, right here. Wow, the Bears' only Super Bowl championship was against the Patriots. Well, you gotta love the Patriots then, because you beat the crap out of us. So there you go. You're welcome. Oh, look at that score! Yikes! This was the first time the Patriots made the Super Bowl, though. They were awful before this. We were a 5 seed too. Pretty sure this season we barely made the playoffs as well. Chicago murder rates went down because the Bears are doing good. Let's go, bro. That's epic. No way. Chirac. I know they just needed the Bears to settle everyone down. Oh my God. Wow. I've never been to Illinois. I've never been to the Midwest. Never been to Chicago, but I'd love to go. There's a lot of good comedy scene out there. A lot of good comedy. Good sports town too. Hey man, I love who doesn't love Michael Jordan? But I mean, come on. Epic. The Bears. Mike Ditka. Yeah, this is one hell of a football team. By God. Do you remember? I gotta get out there. I've never been. I gotta get out there. I'm an East Coast guy. I'm a New Englander. I've lived here my whole life. I'm a masshole. Oh, nice. You love stand-up? I've done some stand-up, too. It's on my YouTube channel. Just open mics. Nothing serious, though. I like Shane Gillis, Nick Mullen. They're really good. They're hilarious. When was the last time the Bears were in the Super Bowl? 2009? When they lost to the Colts. Shout out to Devin Hester. That's such a good highlight. I think only kickoff return in the Super Bowl. I hope that's a true fact. That was a good team. That was either like 2010, 2009, 2010. That was late 2000s. Come on. Chicago Bears. Where is it? Oh, 06. 06 against the Colts. Well, you picked a good time to leave because that was the last time the Bears were in the Super Bowl. But I picked them to win the... Yeah, I don't know. What was I going to say? Yeah, Caleb threw that bad pick at the end of the game. That was unfortunate. That was unfortunate. All right. Thanks for chatting it up with me, Mr. Profit for the Daily. You're epic. And I appreciate the sub. Thank you for stopping by, my brother. Back to reacting to the Epstein files.
Was, quote, busy with his important work. Even today, just thinking about what happened, I feel nauseous about my behavior. I can't believe I did that to my family. Now, at the time I read that and I was like, well, you know, it's at least as good that you self-reflected on that. It's horrible, but, you know, yeah, you were a bit of a psycho. But what's crazy, I mean, now we find out some of the important work, I mean, it's a little unclear, but some of the important work may have been Jeffrey Epstein, which is just, oh, it's so dark to imagine. Remember, he says July 11th, 2017 is when this all happened. And then he says he did not come home to San Diego until Friday the following week, 10 days later. So July 11th, 2017, 2 days after this happens, he's talking to Jeffrey Epstein. And they seem to be coordinating about something. Sure, what time? Jeffrey Epstein, 9:30. Peter Attia responds, sure, I can come earlier. Also, if you have a hard stop at 10, let me know. You're hanging out with Jeffrey? I don't even know what to say. This is out of pocket. I mean, there's no explanation for this. I mean, I didn't see this in the response from Peter. I mean, maybe he thinks he addresses it because he already admitted that was like scummy, but that is just. There's a reason that didn't make it in the book, is what I'm trying to say. I didn't see that in the book when I read it. You know, I was actually, you know, one of the things I needed to do, my important work was seeing or talking to Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, isn't that weird? Like, that's the simping that I'm talking about, is these people love this guy. Or that's how it seems to me. Like, what are all these rich and powerful people doing, protecting him, missing emergencies for Jeffrey, fawning over Jeffrey, asking for Jeffrey's harem, saying their biggest problem is the life they lead is.
Everyone in this, you're done. It's over for you. I mean, for real, just keeping it a buck, right? Anyone caught messaging this guy, excuse me, anyone messaging this guy post 2008, you're done. Because, I mean, if you were unaware, in 2008, he's convicted of... A parent reported he sexually abused 14-year-old daughter. Federal officials identified 36 girls, some as young as 14. He had allegedly abused. He pled guilty, convicted in 2008. So, I mean, this happened in 2008 where he was convicted. So if there's anyone, I mean, I wish there was a date, you know, when he was officially convicted or whatever. But I mean, like, he was being investigated by the Florida police in 2005. So anyone communicating with this guy in that range, I mean, especially anyone talking to this guy post 2008, you done. I think for me, the biggest shock in all of this was Noam Chomsky. I saw the photo of them together, and I kind of assumed, like, I mean, some other people also kind of said, like, oh, you know, maybe that was Epstein trying to tarnish Noam Chomsky. Nope. Hey, really want to come out to the island, or whatever the hell he said. And it's just like, oh my God, brother. Like, him being in there was the biggest shock to me, Noam Chomsky, without a doubt. I have one of his books. Probably not for much longer, but yeah, by God.
So outrageous they can't tell us all. I mean, what is going on here? And is it true they all didn't know, right? Because, you know, I'm reading these documents, and it's hard to say who exactly knew what, when. But I don't believe, remember, they're all denying it, I don't believe nobody knew, right? Clearly, some people knew what was going on, and there's all this kind of coded language in the files where they talk about this stuff almost in like a nudge kind of way. I mean, here's some Woody Allen stuff. He was in the files. He says his business...
Of course this guy's in the files. I mean, it's like some people, it's like, yeah, Woody Allen, duh, obviously. But, I mean, oh, my God. It's just freaking nuts.
Office, if you can make out the check to me, it looks very bad because then it looks like a gift to me. He says that to Epstein. He says, I don't want to be one of your women, or should I say, girls. And what's that? Oh, how do we... Come on, guys. Woody says, I would be much more expensive than your girls. You wouldn't be able to afford me. Jeffrey responds, yes, the price to pay would be too high. Woody says, this will be a beautiful friendship. And then Jeffrey says, as long as I follow orders, smiley face. Woody Allen sends a message saying Woody says the exact same thing, but in a dirtier way. Jeffrey responds, what did he say? Woody Allen, are you kidding? I can't put it in writing. I mean, no evidence, guys, no evidence. How? Come on, I think I see a little bit of evidence. I'm squinting, but I think I can see a little bit of evidence. I mean, guys, like Jeffrey Epstein right here, where he's talking to a guy, he says, Paris with Woody, and the person responds, for le pedophile convention. And Jeffrey says, I think pedophile is the plural. I mean, no evidence. I mean, is that no evidence? That's nothing. We don't even want to question these people. There's no investigations going on. So, yeah, it's honestly really sad to see how, look, I'm not saying people around the world are having crazy consequences, but a few people are resigning, thank goodness. You know, a few people are at least facing a little bit of scrutiny, but here Elon Musk lays out the playbook, apparently for our guys. You know, we admit nothing, we deny everything, and we blame others. We just push the spotlight onto other people. And unfortunately, that's what you've seen the whole time from all the people in the files. You know, all of them say, oh, I was so happy these files came out. It's about shining accountability and justice for the victims, but I had nothing to do with it. Okay, so then where's the justice for the victims? So nobody, you know, all of you say somebody else had something to do with it, but everybody says nobody had anything to do with it. The FBI says they don't have any other, you know, investigations, any other kind of leads, despite the fact we have one of the procurers of the women just walking free, apparently, like no charges against him. Have we investigated him? I mean, it's just shocking how much the Epstein files show the powerful, how they protect their own, how so many of them knew what was going on to the extent they found out later. A lot of them tried to protect Epstein, like literally make PR campaigns for his reputation. And this is a dark look at the state of the world, honestly, because Epstein happened a while ago, but the reason everyone cares is because there's other Epsteins around, right? There's other people evading accountability all the time. There's other people that this band of billionaires and power brokers and PR people, even lawmakers, they circle the wagons and protect their own to the point you can never get accountability for anything. So anyway, that's it. It's a hard look at the Epstein files, but it's one we needed to do. But I want to make the disclaimer once again that, look, I've tried to read people's individual denials where I could, but you should just assume everyone that we are talking about firmly denies any kind of criminal wrongdoing. They deny anything untoward about any kind of minors. And given the fact that our government doesn't seem to want to investigate anyone, I would just assume everybody here is completely clear. And so I want to get all those caveats in here because we are talking about some very powerful people with enormous means. And I don't want to be seen as I'm saying stuff. I'm reading the files. I'm giving my personal opinion. But ultimately, this is an indictment of our FBI and the people in power. And that's what I think the Epstein files have really shown us. This has been a long road. Can you believe it all started over here? And we have come all this way with all these files coming out. And it seems like the question is on the table. Are there going to be consequences?
Is there any chance that any of these individuals who partied with Epstein and engaged in, relations with minors will be prosecuted? Any chance?
I'll never say no, and we will always investigate any evidence of misconduct. But as you know, it is not a crime to party with Mr. Epstein. And so as horrible as it's not a crime to email with Mr. Epstein. And some of these men may have done horrible things. And if we have evidence that allows us to prosecute them, you better believe we will. But it's also the kind of thing that the American people need to understand, that it isn't a crime to party with Mr. Epstein. It isn't a crime to have
Didn't look like that's all that was going on some of those photos. I mean, if the photos could speak, some of them look pretty bad.
That's right. And unfortunately, photos can't speak.
Well, there we go. And now it's Ram Dass. That's a big switch up. Definitely for the positive. Yeah. back. I got food. The revolution continues. It is 7:50 Eastern Time here on the Nick Moore Show. It's February 4th on a Wednesday. Very, very nice. Very, very good. There we go. Is there anything... We'll go down the YouTube Shorts rabbit hole. Just react to this for a little bit. How'd you play the harmonica? Teach me about Fear Factor, Joe.
Did you help write creative?
No.
You didn't want any part of that?
I had zero. No, what I would do is I'd show up at work, I'd get in my trailer, I'd take an edible, and then I would go to the set. And I'm like, what do we got? I did the first 4 episodes.
What
I
do
did
we got?
sober. Then I was like, this is so boring.
What do we do?
I need to get high. And so I would take pot lollipops and pot gummies and just get lit and then enjoy it. Because then it was like this is an adventure.
What a
this
great
is crazy.
gig.
Adventure.
Oh, it was a fun gig.
Yeah, I had so
Seems
much
like a
fun
good
too.
gig.
Because
It was
all
a lot
I
of
do
fun.
is like
Get
all I
paid
did
to
was
get
talk.
high.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, it's easy. I ate a
I
lot of
have that
shit.
job?
I ate a lot of things to try to encourage people. You know, like, because after a while,
Wait,
I got so
you
numb.
would do the...
Hold on. I gotta react to this. This is like one of the greatest Joe Rogan Fear Factor clips ever. No, hey. No. Don't hey me. So funny. Don't hey me. Then we'll go back to his thrilling breakdown. Oh, come on. You can load. Don't hey me. This is a classic.
Victoria Johnson,
I'm not
come
happy.
on over here.
I'm not happy.
I'm not happy.
You're the biggest
Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? You can't assault people.
Just a nice shot to the chest. Bang! I will say, I'll give a little bit of the context, is that these people were like being crazy, yelling at each other. Well, hold on. Let me shut up. How about that?
Victoria Johnson,
I'm not
come
happy.
on over here.
I am
Sit
not
over here.
happy.
You're the biggest on the planet.
Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? You can't assault people. What are you doing?
Oh, but
It's called
Johnny.
strategy. He's yelling
That's
at
not
you.
a
You can't
strategy.
run up to him and hit him.
In previous shows, I've upset a few people.
And then the guy's just like, oh my god. I'm gonna die.
Ruffled a few feathers, if you will. Victoria might have been the most agitated I've ever made anyone. I mean, she punched me as hard as she could. I mean, she held nothing back and knocked me down.
Look, if you and your husband hit each other, that's one thing. You don't run up and hit other contestants. Don't hey.
After
Don't
yelling
hey,
at his
hey,
wife
hey,
the
me.
entire time, he's sticking up for her.
He got in Joe's face.
And then
he
it just
got too
cuts
close
to him
to
like,
Joe.
Oh my god.
And then all of a sudden they start going at it, and I was like, all right, I gotta break this up because Joe's gonna kill him.
Hey.
And we have to go still, and my partner's crying. This is the greatest reality show ever.
I don't know about that.
I would have to say that Joe Rogan is about 100 times tougher than Jeff Probst.
All right, that's probably true.
This isn't gonna make or break us. The disappointment is just not being able to go further because I know that we have it in us to go further.
They had it in them.
People see it as bickering. People see it as fighting.
Was
We
this
really
all
do
for
have.
like 50 grand too? Like that's how much you get at the end of like this edition of Fear Factor. I swear it was just $50,000. Which I mean, I don't know, accounting for inflation, I mean that's more than it is now, but still, like, I don't know. I mean, it depends what year it is, I guess. Oh my god. Hey. So funny. Don't hey me. Oh my god. And then it just cuts to All right. Back to this.
Yeah.
The things with them.
I'd be like, you could do it. Look, I'll do it. I'll do it for you. Like,
yeah.
And some of the times when I did it to just try to help people, I'm like, look, I'm going to show you. I'm going to do it, and then you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And then we didn't even air me doing it.
Did you help write creative?
No.
You didn't want any part of that?
No. Hey.
What's something people don't know about you?
I'm a deeply closeted gay guy.
No kidding.
Well, I'm not coming out, though.
Wait a minute.
Coming out.
What are you revealing here today?
I'm not revealing anything. I'm saying I'm deeply
Just two dead guys talking to each other. Bro. Oh my God. Did Larry King, if he outlived Norm Macdonald, that would be the craziest. I mean, he didn't, Larry King's. He definitely died before him, if I had to guess. Oh wow, he died the day after my birthday. No way. I feel like they both died in 2021. Is that true? Yeah, they did. Oh my God. Wow. Larry King died before him, but by 8 months. Bro, if you could travel back in time and tell people Norm Macdonald will die 8 months after Larry King, is that crazier than Donald Trump as president? I don't know. If you went back to like 2005 and you were like, I guess that makes sense, but you would assume it was a tragedy. And I mean, it was. He got fucking cancer.
closeted.
Well, that means you're gay.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Why would I say that? I'm deeply closeted.
No, but that means you're very, very gay, but you don't want to come out. You're so closeted.
That I refuse to say I'm gay.
Right.
Exactly.
But doesn't that mean you're gay?
Hey, easy, buddy.
What's something people don't know about you?
Is that why?
What's something people don't know?
What's Jacksonville like as a comedy town? It's good. I mean,
right.
Have you ever seen the video? Alex Jones is trying to calm Joey Diaz down, and I'm next to him. I'm just crying, laughing.
Who hasn't seen this
But this
video,
is to let the American public know. And every 4 years, they buy the same shit they've been buying every 4 years. And the same people with their Harvard articulation and how they don't curse, and they're Christians, and they have a family. And these are the same people that shove it up your ass every year. The one thing that you get about me is I'll say fuck, but I will not fucking rob you. If I need some...
Why do they have to...
Tell us, we want...
Let me say something more modern and stylish then.
Okay.
My wife went into a coma.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
And the doctor said to me, you won't hear this from any 1935 comic. He says to me, there's one way to wake her up, but it's a little unconventional. You go in there and you have oral with her. I said, by God. He says, I've seen it work. I said, well, I'm willing to try. So I go in there. I'm in there about 5 minutes, and I come out. I said, Doc, she's choking. But that's modern medicine for you.
That's modern medicine.
Let me say something.
You guys didn't just create a show.
You bastard.
He quickly.
All right,
you
tell
guys
me more
didn't
about
just create a
Jackass.
show. You know, you created like a chapter in modern pop culture history. Really, because it became one of the most entertaining things ever and one of the most ridiculous things ever.
Wow. Yeah, that's tough to. I never really walked down those roads. Yeah, I don't know. I appreciate you saying that though, but it's odd, you know, to entertain that thought of it, especially if you.
Johnny Knoxville's always been such a humble guy, bro. He seems like a W. The whole Jackass crew is a W. I mean, come on. Even Bam, you nut job.
You see B and Tremaine sitting around writing ideas, you're like, these two idiots did that? Like, if you could see how we shoot.
Well, I mean, you guys, I mean, what? I mean, it's not, you're not curing cancer. I mean, come on. It's like, what if I get into the pen with a bowl and then it runs me over? Like, come on, bro. I mean, hey, man, you could die doing that shit. Nope, I'm not saying it isn't dangerous or whatever. All right, what are you going to say about the impact on the pop culture, Johnny?
It's just it's amazing we get any footage at all, Joe.
You guys didn't just.
It's amazing they get any footage at all.
He quickly discovered that the young receiver had big potential and a bigger ego.
Kurt was like, yeah.
Who does wasn't like Larry Fitz. He was a dub.
There is a growing sense that you.
All right. What did Bernie Sanders have to say about the Epstein files? This is actually something I care about. I want to see this. All right. Did he release a longer statement? Looks like he was just on CNN and they got a clip from that. All right. Anything else? He's got his big focuses. Shout out to Senator Bernie Sanders. He's fighting the good fight. All right. What should alarm us about the Epstein files, Senator Sanders? Is it the fact that there are 2 presidents implicated? Is it the fact that the richest man in the world is in there? What should alarm us, Senator? Please, you have the floor.
There is a growing sense that you have a small number of elite, of very, very rich people who hang out with each other, who really see themselves as above the law. Their world is not my world, it's not your world, it's not ordinary people's worlds. They live in a special world. And I worry that what you're seeing now in our country today is you got oligarchs with incredible money. They also live in a different world. And I think that is why the American people are responding, so strongly. They go through a red light, they get stopped, they get fined. These guys do terrible things. That's okay. You're rich and you're powerful.
Absolutely, Senator. You're absolutely right. Why is there no accountability in the United States? Why is there no justice? Is it because they're wealthy? Is it because they're rich? They're rich and they're powerful, as Senator Sanders just alluded to. If you're a regular American and you speed, do you get a ticket? You run a red light, do you get a ticket? If you're a regular American, if you're just a working class guy and you get accused of the stuff that Jeffrey Epstein is accused of, what do you think happens to you? Do you get thrown under the jail? I mean, come on. Yes, these people do see themselves as above the law. They see themselves as a protected class. They think they are better than you. They think they are smarter than you. And they want you to be their minion slave for the rest of your pathetic life in their eyes. They hate America. And there you go. Need I go on? At least we got this guy. I'm pretty sure the one time he is mentioned in the Epstein files, I'm talking about Bernie here, I wish I knew who was emailing Epstein, but it's one of his buddies being like, man, I hate how much my kids like Bernie Sanders. Bro, whoever wrote that, you suck, your kids are based. And you want to know who's even cooler? Bernie Sanders. By God. This man should have been the president twice, and he's been robbed of it. Twice. 3 times, really. 2016, 2020, 2024. I mean, come on. He should have... The fact that this man was not the president is a goddamn shame. Anything else, Senator? Oh, yes, vaccines are good. All right, Bernie. We will win. We will win. Man, this is a good clip. That's a fun one. That is a fun one. There we go. Celtics first Pacers game 1. Oh my. What year is this? A couple years ago or? Johnny Knoxville's dad was a maniac.
But hated the part. Dad loved Jackass, but hated the parts where I would do stunts. My whole family did. I just doing what I saw growing up. He would send letters to his friends from the VD clinic, rubber stamped on the envelope, saying you have to list your last 10 partners because you've contracted a venereal disease, signed Dr. Harlan C. Titmore. But people would get these letters, or worse, the guy's wife would get the letter. And the thing about something like that, people become angry and emotional, and then they believe everything. That's the great thing about pranks. If you can get someone so wound up that they're really emotional, they'll believe anything. And so this guy would come home from work, and then the mother, like his wife would be there, the wife's mother would be there. He had a gun pulled on him over that once.
A real gun?
Oh, yeah, real guns.
Your dad sounds like a maniac.
Dad loved Jackass, but hated...
He was just an original prankster.
I heard that sometimes that drugs were involved. Is that true?
Grateful
You
Dead
did actually.
never did
There were.
drugs.
It wasn't just a rumor.
No, sir.
No.
It was not a rumor.
What kind of? Because it was a different type of thing though. Then when you were starting off, the drugs were the acid drug. Acid was legal then, though, wasn't it? It was legal.
It certainly was.
Yeah.
1966 was when it was made illegal.
Yeah.
And we were just a bunch of happy kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of fun.
Acid's a strange drug, though, isn't it? Anyway, you play all this time with the Grateful Dead, and all these people follow you around all the time. You were the counterculture, and it turned into big business. How did that happen, Mr. Microsoft?
Well, it just we kept playing to more and more people, and they kept coming back for more. We never played the same show twice, I think, was the main reason that people kept coming back.
But didn't they ask for the same songs and stuff like that?
They didn't need to. They didn't need to have the same song. Besides, we never had any hits, so they wouldn't have known what to ask for.
I heard that sometimes that drugs were...
R.I.P. Phil.
Well, no, ladies, man,
R.I.P. the Grateful Dead.
I heard that sometimes that drugs were involved. Is that...
R.I.P. Jerry Garcia. There's a couple. The drummers are still alive. Shout out to them. Or the celebrities you did coke with, Steve-O. You crazy man. All right, Kyle. How did Joe Rogan get played like a fiddle? Is this going to be reacting to the reaction of reacting? I think this is probably that. All right, let's go.
All right, guys, we got a video here from American Redact.
This will be me reacting to Kyle, reacting to American Redact. A little react inception.
Every Joe Rogan guest in the Epstein files. So I know you guys have probably seen the memes and seen the talk by now, but basically he had at least 10 people on his show and helped launder their reputations when they were in the Epstein files, and not in the Epstein files in like a roundabout way. Some of these people were in the Epstein files with like damaging ass stuff. So really the Joe Rogan experience became the Jeffrey Epstein experience, and we're about to watch a breakdown of that. Here we go.
Here's a deeper point, man. And I don't mean to do this every time I'm on, but you have such a crazy power that if you're not careful, folks from deep, dark wells of perspective are going to infiltrate your shit because people are going to like try to exploit you. That's the main thing, is like people recognizing what you are. Who have
by the way, now this guy, Duncan Trussell, the guy who's talking, now he's a Peter Thiel defender. Now he's a Palantir defender. They got to him too, y'all. They got to him too.
Mr. Duncan, oh, I'm just a hippie, bro. I'm just a hippie, bro. And don't worry about all the AI spying on you, bro. I'm just a dumb hippie, bro.
political agendas will infiltrate your shit and then start blowing out their radioactivity into the world, right? That's a fear.
Like radium, like...
All right, so now that people have had a few days to digest the millions of emails and documents linked to Jeffrey Epstein, it's now starting to appear that Joe Rogan's had a lot of people on his show that are now confirmed to have been closely linked to the predator and criminal.
He had on Epstein's private chef? Oh my God. I didn't know it was that bad. Come on, man. Don't tell me you didn't say shit about it. Don't tell me you didn't say shit about it, Joseph. Oh, Joseph Robinette Rogan, what is wrong with you? Holy shit. Oh my God, bro. By the way, and we talked about this on Kyle and Corin the other day too. In a roundabout way, to give Rogan a little bit of credit, I remember when I went on the show one of the times, and Corin was with me, and before the show, Rogan was telling us this story about how there was one guest he had on his show, Lawrence Krauss. He's like a scientist guy. And Lawrence Krauss kept trying to get Joe to meet Epstein. And Joe was telling us, this guy was pushy about it. It was really weird. And like, I know the weary stuff around Epstein. So like, I basically turned it down. And come to find out, Joe Rogan is also in the Epstein files. And the way he's in the Epstein files is via that email. So Lawrence Krauss talking to Epstein saying, can you introduce me to Joe? And Lawrence Krauss going, yeah, I'll try to like get him to agree to that. And then Krause tries and fails. And you have Krause sending another email to Epstein, basically being like, sorry, we weren't even able to really make it work out. He's a little skittish. I thought he wouldn't be this skittish, right? And so basically validating the story that Rogan told me and Corin, that like they tried to get, Epstein wanted to fucking meet him, and he said no. So on the one hand, you got to give him credit because he knew about the noise around Epstein. He knew how nasty that shit was, and he decided I'm going to keep my distance. But on the other hand, he deserves no credit because he literally used his platform to launder all of these people who are in the Epstein class and in the Epstein files and partook.
I got to hear that one more time. Hold on.
In a be this skittish, right? And like, I know the weary stuff around Epstein, so like, kept trying to get us this story. Rogan, what is wrong with you? Holy shit. Oh my God, bro. By the way, and we talked about this on Kyle and Corin the other day too. In a roundabout way, to give Rogan a little bit of credit, I remember when I went on the show one of the times, and Corin was with me, and before the show, Rogan was telling us this story about how there was one guest he had on his show, Lawrence Krauss. He's like a scientist guy. And Lawrence Krauss kept trying to get Joe to meet Epstein. And Joe was telling us, this guy was pushy about it. It was really weird. And like, I know the weary stuff around Epstein. So like, I basically turned it down. And come to find out, Joe Rogan is also in the Epstein files. And the way he's in the Epstein files is via that email. So Lawrence Krauss talking to Epstein saying, can you introduce me to Joe? And Lawrence Krauss going, yeah, I'll try to like get him to agree to that. And then Krauss tries and fails. And you have Krauss sending another email to Epstein, basically being like, sorry, we weren't even able to really make it work out. He's a little skittish. I thought he wouldn't be this skittish, right? And so basically validating the story.
Bro, how does Joe Rogan have more sense than some of the other people fucking implicated in this? Like some of the people he's had on his podcast too. Again, this makes no sense. Okay, so you've heard weird things about Epstein. You don't want to meet him. Smart. But I mean, again, now we're learning that these people are affiliated with him. But I mean, I think that also just does kind of show how far Joe's fallen from grace too. Like, you know, maybe if they tried to run that now, would he have him on? I mean, it seems like he knew about the accusations and whatnot, and that was the reasoning, but maybe some people in his circle or whatever would have fed him some bullshit about how that's not true or whatever and whatnot, and to be like, give this guy a chance or whatever. I mean, who knows, you know? That is, that's crazy.
Story that Rogan told me and Corin that like they tried to get, Epstein wanted to fucking meet him, and he said no. So on the one hand, you got to give him credit because he knew about the noise around Epstein. He knew how nasty that shit was, and he decided I'm going to keep my distance. But on the other hand, he deserves no credit because he literally used his platform to launder all of these people who are in the Epstein class and in the Epstein files and partook in a lot of the fucked up shit. Which means what, Joe? You have to reevaluate how naive and gullible you are and how you fall for shit way too fucking easy.
Which has definitely left a lot of people scratching.
I would say I agree with Kyle 110%. Let me get the food out of my mouth, sorry. I mean, Joe, I think, at the very least, if this wasn't a wake-up call, all of this stuff happening, like, you gotta, like, be a little more, diligent about that or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speculate too much. I'm not inside Joe Rogan's head. I've never met the guy. I've just listened to a lot of hours of him talk. But, when you start being a political guy like he is and, you know, talking to those people or whatever, I mean, you got to realize or recognize, like, I guess be aware of what is their intent actually, you know? Because, I mean, Joe, at the end of the day, was just a comedian who had his podcast and then became the biggest podcast in the world. So, I mean, he just kind of found himself in this situation. But, all right, now you've been in this situation for quite a while, so things are different, so...
scratching their heads. I mean, it's one thing to have maybe 1 or 2 guys linked to Epstein on his show, but when you realize that Joe Rogan's platformed more than 9 different people and counting at this point, who were named in the files sometimes thousands of different times, it all certainly raises more than a few questions. And it's not like anyone's accusing Joe Rogan of secretly going to Epstein's island or anything, but the very fact that he's had so many of these weirdos on his podcast just proves how accurate Duncan Trussell was in the opening clip there. Like, all of these creepy billionaires flock to Joe's podcast because they feel a sense of safety and protection with Joe. Not only because he never challenges these guys on anything or even questions their links to Epstein, but also because he's so easily manipulated.
And by the way, that's the real crime, right? Is having on...
He does give all these people softball interviews to a massive audience. And I mean, that's why I kind of stopped listening to this guy and taking him seriously, because I was like, man, apparently old school Joe Rogan said, I don't want to interview Donald Trump because I'm not a journalist or whatever the fuck in 2016. But then come 8 years later, all of a sudden that doesn't matter and I'll talk to him. But yeah, all right. What do you got for me, Kyle?
Billionaires and letting them spew their propaganda, and you don't push back at all. Like, look, don't get me wrong. It's totally fine. If you want to have a podcast where you're just hanging out with your comedian friends and shooting the shit and laughing and having a good time, that's totally fine. But what Rogan did is that, but then he also decided to take that same model and use it for right-wing politicians and use it for billionaires. And that's where you lose everybody who's got a functioning brain. Because if you're going to play in the big leagues, you got to hold these motherfuckers accountable. There's so much dirt on them, and they do so much fucked up shit. And for you to just sit there and humanize them, you're actively doing a disservice, and you're harming the body politic, and everybody's worse off and dumber if they watch you humanize Peter Thiel and fucking Elon Musk, and they walk away thinking these people are good people. They're not. They're actually horrible.
I mean, now it's sad because it's like Joe's show is literally turned into like an op by these people, whether he's even complicit in it or not. It's just like, again, have these people on for, hours, let them say whatever they want, very little pushback, if any, and Joe's still got a massive audience. He's still the biggest podcast, so...
will believe just about anything you say to him, especially if you have power over him. Peter Thiel, for example, who's a billionaire tech investor and co-founder of Palantir and PayPal, admitted to Joe Rogan that he met Jeffrey Epstein back in 2014, about 8 years after Epstein was initially arrested for all of the despicable and nasty stuff that he did to children.
I mean, that should already, if you're even just pretending to be a serious journalist or person or whatever, it's like, you gotta bring that up.
I met Epstein a few times as well, and
he gave brilliant tax advice.
And I think,
how'd you get introduced?
It was Reid Hoffman in Silicon Valley introduced us in 2014, but it was basically
when you were
the guy who I think was his neighbor, who was like, man, I stay away from him all the time.
Introduced to him, how was he described to you?
He was described as one of the smartest tax people in the world.
Interesting.
And I probably was my moral weakness that I.
Well, how could you have known back then? He had never been arrested.
No, this was 2014. It was post arrest.
Oh, so his arrest was the first arrest, right?
What, bro? What? You just had Peter Thiel fact check you on the fact that, oh no, I did actually talk to him after he was arrested for soliciting prostitution from a minor. I didn't talk to him before then. It was after that, Joe. You're mistaken.
Right? Yeah, which was like
2007, 08.
Okay.
Upon learning this, though, Rogan doesn't even think twice before making excuses for Thiel, saying that he knows a lot.
Peter Thiel's clearly way more. He knows. I mean, whatever.
A lot of people who were tricked by Epstein, instantly letting Thiel...
And by the way, Thiel is lying here. Thiel was close with Epstein, and there's a whole bunch of damning emails with Thiel and Epstein.
...off the hook.
But I thought he always had good judgment in people.
When the shit went down and Epstein gets arrested for the second time, were you like, oh, well, there you go?
I've thought about it. I thought a lot about it as a result, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's a lie. He kept emailing him.
Sure. Jesus Christ. Well, he tricked a lot of people. I know a lot of people that met that guy.
So that right there is the very reason why so many of these elites just love going on Joe's podcast. Because Joe's best friends with whoever's across the table with him that day. And he was probably so starstruck by Thiel and his connections that he never even thought to second guess the guy on his relationships with Jeffrey Epstein. Now that the files are out though, it seems pretty clear that Thiel was a lot closer to Epstein than he led Joe on to believe. I mean, there's a bunch of back and forth emails between them about having dinners together in various places, and there's even one where Thiel suggests meeting him on a quote-unquote island, which could very well be the island, if you know what I mean. There's of course nothing immediately acknowledging the crimes or anything, but I would venture to say that doing business with a convicted sex criminal for personal enrichment generally means you're a bad guy, not to mention being in regular communication with them. But of course, Rogan doesn't bother looking even an inch further into any of that, which is why a lot of people criticize Joe as an interviewer. Like the guy can't shut up about Epstein and all the stuff surrounding him, but as soon as he has someone on the show that's literally sat down and had one-on-one conversations with the guy, Joe immediately brushes over it and then switches the topic.
And by the way, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but wasn't there like a death tied to one of the lovers of Peter Thiel? Didn't one of his lovers die in some like weird circumstances? Isn't that a thing? I didn't just make that up, did I?
I know a lot of people that met that guy.
I think the story Kyle's referring to there is, I think, an ex-boyfriend or a former boyfriend of Peter Thiel commit suicide.
He got a lot of celebrities to come to his house for parties and things.
Well, I think I think a lot of it was this strange commentary on, I know there was some secret club, secret society you could be part of.
Right,
and
of course.
Again, it wasn't explicit, but that was the vague vibe of the whole thing.
People love those stupid things. They love like exclusive clubs that very few people. Look at the fucking Soho House. Like, look at that stupid thing. I mean, you just go to a place that you have to be a member to go to, and everybody wants to be a member. Oh my God, gotta get it. And then you get like the Malibu Soho House. It's different from the other ones. You have to have a membership only there.
And you see, Peter Thiel is really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to J.R.
Just kind of explains it away, too. I mean, he's like playing defense for this guy. I mean, it seems like if you just have like a few like personable interactions with Joe, he'll just like, you're like, I don't know, seems like a good guy to me, like he doesn't. It feels very strange to say that the guy who has the biggest podcast on the planet doesn't really have like quote unquote critical thinking skills. But I mean, I'm not calling Joe a complete idiot, like he's not, but by God, you're conveniently willing to overlook a lot when the people implicated are extremely rich and extremely powerful. All right, let's get fucking Peter Thiel off the screen before I fucking turn to stone or whatever, something.
3 guests that have been involved with Epstein. Of course, there are the big ones like Elon Musk and Donald Trump, but it actually goes way deeper than that. Like, believe it or not, Joe's literally platformed Epstein's personal chef, Adam Perry Lang, who worked for Epstein for 4 years straight back.
Imagine the shit that guy has seen. Oh my God.
In the late 90s, flying with him on his private
in the late 90s. Oh my God, that's like peak debauchery.
Jet to cook for him at Epstein's various different properties, including the infamous Epstein Island. And this was all public information prior to that podcast. So it was pretty strange that Joe didn't bring that up once. There was even
What a cuck. Oh my God. What a cuck. It's hard to conclude anything other than Joe Rogan is totally cool with the shadow government of moneyed interests that rule over us. He is totally cool with the cabal of pedophile, rapist, billionaire sadists.
And of course, there could have been some kind of agreement that
maybe as long as he feels like he's in the in crowd, I mean, as George Carlin famously said, it's a big club and you're not in it. Maybe Joe feels like I'm in the big club.
Joe signed to not mention it with him during the podcast, but nonetheless, it's all very fishy.
What's happening, brother? How are you?
Good to be here.
Good to have you. I have enjoyed your restaurant many times. This is my favorite steak restaurant in all of Los Angeles.
Thank you.
It's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you in here, because this is a really crazy time for restaurants. And I mean, that's basically, that's the gist of it. This is a crazy time.
It's bananas. It's absolutely crazy.
And then there's Dr. Peter Attia, who was apparently Epstein's private doctor and shared thousands of emails with Jeffrey, which,
by the way, Crystal made a devastating point to me about this Attia guy. Go watch the movie Eyes Wide Shut if you haven't, because that shit is a motherfucking documentary at this point.
It's a great movie. Stanley Kubrick, 10 out of 10. Great fucking film. Love it.
That is a motherfucking documentary. The idea that that's fictional is nonsense. That's out the window.
I believe that was his last movie, too. And I mean, Yeah, as Kyle said, that is a documentary.
At this point, we know because of Epstein and all this stuff. If anything, they undersold this secret society, right? But Peter Attia plays the same role as Tom Cruise in Eyes Wide Shut. Like, he is the doctor for all of the rapist, pedophile, billionaire sadists, and like he's cool and in on it. Well, obviously in the movie it's a little more complicated than that because Tom Cruise struggles with it. But like, this guy was a doctor for these people, knowing all the depravity and being totally okay with it. That's the role this guy played. And he's also Joe Rogan's doctor.
But I'll touch on that later more in the video. Just know that as of right now, there are about 9 or 10 people who went on Joe's show that are named in the file.
Yo, brother. I listen to that podcast. I listened to him on Joe. I mean, I definitely thought this guy was like a smart, interesting guy, and I kind of liked the longevity stuff or whatever. I was like, okay, seems logical to want to stay alive for a long time, but I mean, by God, these people really seem to take that and just, turn it into transhumanism and just be like, screw being human, which, I mean, I can get into this, I'll talk more about it, in depth, but like, in my opinion, you misunderstand reality if you're super wealthy and you think that's the end goal. I think you're an idiot.
Which is just a mind-boggling number of people. As weird as that may be, though, there's not really one single answer to it that people can agree on. Some people theorize that Joe's been bought out and paid for by the upper crust of society, or even the CIA, and others think that it's merely a coincidence. No matter what you choose to believe in, though, the one thing that's true here is that Joe gives the softest, most patty cake style of interviews to a select group of people, and a lot of those people were named in the Epstein list. And Donald Trump's a great example of this. Like during that Donald Trump interview, which now has over 61 million views on YouTube alone, Joe Rogan never even brought up Epstein or the suspiciousness surrounding Epstein's death, which is a topic that Joe's talked about on hundreds of other episodes before this one. He basically just gave Trump the easiest interview of his life.
Remember when he was talking to Kash Patel and then afterwards, he was like, well, what am I supposed to do? Push back? Yeah, if you're gonna have on the fucking head of the FBI, you should be willing to push back. Or else what are you doing, an infomercial for these psychopaths? Kash Patel is a joke. Kash Patel wrote a children's book about how Trump should be a king. Kash Patel was...
If he said that, what am I supposed to do? Push back? You're not a journalist. You're not a serious person. Why are you having these political people, these people in government? Kash Patel is the quote-unquote deep state. He is an appointed official of the government. Okay, and you're going to have on an appointed government official, and then you're going to go, what am I supposed to do? Actually ask questions? As Kyle Kalinske has said, you are Rush Limbaugh at that point. You are a partisan hack who your mission is to make one side look good and the other side look bad. You have zero objectivity.
Selling scam pills that reverse the vaccine, the COVID vaccine. And none of this was fit to bring up. None of this was fit to bring up. Oh, my God.
One of the beautiful things about you is that you freeball. Like, you get out and you do these huge events and you're just talking and you're making. We've highlighted you on the show many times when you did this Biden impression where he's walking around, he doesn't know what he's doing. It's funny. It's stand up. It's funny stuff. But it's like and you're making fun of Elon.
You're just like a comedian, Don. You're just like one of the boys in the green room at the mothership. Why don't you show up one time? We can smoke a J together and you can do a set. Come on, you're just like one of the bros.
You're doing an Elon impression. It's great. You have like comedic instincts.
Oh, look at this weenus gobbler. Oh, straight up gobbling weenus.
Donnie, you're so funny and humorous.
Jesus Christ.
Like when you said to Hillary, you'd be in jail. Like, that's great timing. And I think...
it's funny. You need at least the attitude of a comedian when you're doing this business. This is a very dangerous business, first of all. It's a very tough business.
It's the most dangerous business.
It's the most, for a job?
Yes.
So the softball interview...
I mean, I just like the admission there, too. To Donald Trump, politics is business. It's not public service. It's not... I'm doing this for other people. It's not the American people are my boss. It's I am their boss. I tell them what to do. I am in charge. I am in this for myself. What is business? You're in business to do what? Make money. So again, it's like it's a move. It's not I care about people. Not like I think he had anyone tricked that he does, you know. Maybe he might have some people tricked. But yeah, politics is not a business. It's public service. You are a public servant. If you're a politician, your boss is the American people. They get to boss you around. Donald Trump, I get to tell you, you're fired. Okay? You think you're the big businessman, you know, running your corporation with an iron fist? You might be trying to run America like that, but, you know, to me, that's just a huge mission right there. Just that one. Yeah, politics is business. It's a tough business. It's a tough business. It's not a service. It's business.
Basically,
and Joe's just like, yeah, you know, business is business.
Lit all of the cronies to go on Joe's show, as Joe's spine basically disappears whenever someone in the Trump.
I mean, Peter Thiel, excuse me, J.D. Vance. I mean, I'm not completely up to date on all of this information, but from other people, I have heard that he was basically selected by Peter Thiel, and I mean, yeah, again, like Joe, one of the things that got me into your show, this is the deep state, you know. What is more deep state than all of these unelected people, these chosen people? People elected Donald Trump. He was elected, so I'm not referring to the president, but I mean the director of the FBI, you know, Kennedy, whatever his position is now, something Secretary of Health or what, I don't even know. I mean, the vice president, I mean, do people vote for, I mean, yeah, you vote for the presidential ticket or whatever, Trump Vance, but I mean, again, J.D. Vance is a creation of Peter Thiel, so, yes, very grassroots, Joe, very, yeah, okay, whatever.
Administration appears on the show.
And by the way, there's a reason why you will not see him go as hard as even like Tim Dillon has turned on Trump stronger than Joe has. Andrew Schultz has turned on Trump stronger than Joe has. Now, by the way, for neither one of them is it enough yet, let's be clear. But they're doing better than Joe. Why? Because Joe is in regular text communication with these people. He talked on his show about texting with Trump. He texts with J.D. Vance. He texts with fucking Elon Musk and Dana White. Like, he is part of that club. He is never...
Dana White's his boss. I mean, they've been buddies forever. I mean, my conspiracy theory is that who's the guy who's been in his ear being pro-Trump forever? Dana White. I mean, if I was to pick one person responsible for Joe Rogan's political evolution, the person that is the most consequential to his political evolution other than himself, my argument would be Dana White. And my conspiracy theory, again, is also like, he's a guy that Joe doesn't want to piss off. Because, as Joe has said repeatedly, excuse me, as Joe has said repeatedly on his show, you know, he does what he wants to do now. That's the point of life that he is at, where he does what he wants to do. So the UFC isn't really like a job for him. It's kind of more of like a hobby that he gets paid to do, and he does it because he likes it. And the UFC likes it because they get to be like, oh, look, we have like the biggest podcaster ever calling our fights or whatever. But what does Dana have over Joe in that situation? He has leverage, and Joe is incentivized to not want to piss off Dana White because that's a gig that he genuinely wants to do, or so he claims. So he's kind of admitting, like, you know, these people, Dana White has leverage over me in the sense of, like, I want to do this job, I'm the fight guy or whatever, and maybe if I piss him off or don't, you know, agree with his politics or whatever, I'm out of there, you know, or I create an environment that I don't want to be in or whatever, where my boss, the guy I'm working for, I know is, you know, different than me on politics. You know, I would be shocked if that doesn't play a factor at all. Like, that doesn't enter his mind somewhat. you know, but that's just me.
We're going to fully turn and tell you the total truth. You will never hear him say the words, Kamala Harris would have been better. Those words will never come out of his mouth.
Like a couple of
And that is because he is a partisan hack.
short months after that Trump podcast, Joe had Kash Patel on, where he let Kash basically lie to his face and his millions of listeners about everything having to do with the Epstein files and Epstein's suspicious death.
Elon and Trump seem to be in a bit of a spat, Joe. You want to check the tweet that Elon just put out a little bit ago?
Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public.
I know my place, so I'm not going to say anything. Yep. Do a good, shut up. Shut up and go stand in the corner, Kash Patel.
Nice day. Jesus Christ.
I'm not participating in any of that conversation.
What is
between
he?
Elon
Have a
and
nice day, DJD. So much data gets thrown away.
They're going back and forth about different things. And
Yeah.
How does he know? Does he know that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files? Or does he have access to the Epstein files?
I don't know how he would, but I'm just staying out of the Trump Elon thing. That's way outside my lane.
What the fuck are they doing?
I know my lane, and that ain't it.
I just don't.
Yep, that is not your lane, Kash Patel. Your lane is not thinking and just being a good little bitch to whatever Donald Trump tells you to do.
I mean, what did you think before you got in office? Did you think that Epstein was murdered?
No.
No suspicion at all of it?
There's just no way that you could have run an op and had people go into that cell and not have any video of it and not have any people come out and say, hey, yeah, I saw that guy. He shouldn't have been there, the guard or this guy.
They were fucking in on it, you lying scumbag. Trump was the one who wanted him dead. Oh, my God.
There's just no access points into places like this in the detention center he was in, which I've been in.
And no, Kash Patel was not named in the files, but he's directly responsible for the delay of their release.
Oh, he fucking perjured himself. He clearly perjured himself.
And he literally lied under oath about their existence late last year, which is now making millions of people online.
Kash Patel, quote, there's no credible information that Jeffrey Epstein trafficked minors. Oh, my God. There's so much. The evidence is piled as high.
Based on what? What? Yeah, how is this not perjury? You just lied to the American people. You lied to Congress. What are you... Clown.
Is Mount Everest. You have them talking about buying and selling 9-year-olds in the files.
All for his arrest.
Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information.
Oh.
None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
So Kash Patel is Trump's personal shoe shiner. And of course, he manipulated Joe into believing everything he said about the Epstein files and Epstein's death. And just to be clear, Patel isn't in the files, but this... So Kash Patel is Trump's personal shoe shiner.
That was a good line. I like that.
And of course, he manipulated Joe into believing everything he said about the Epstein files and Epstein's death. And just to be clear, Patel isn't in the files, but this just shows you why a bunch of these fishy, mega-rich guys feel safe going on to Joe's podcast. One guest that did entertain Joe's theories around Jeffrey Epstein's death, though, was none other than Bari Weiss, who is a New York Times opinion writer turned independent commentator and is married to a woman who was just named in the Epstein files, Nellie Bolt.
Super close. So Bari Weiss's wife was super close with Epstein. They had a really, really chummy relationship. The other thing we now know, based on the files, is that effectively Bari Weiss is trying to turn CBS into Epstein Media. I wish I was kidding, but I'm not kidding. She keeps hiring all these people who were close to Epstein, whether it be Alan Dershowitz or Peter Attia. And the whole point of CBS now is to run cover for MAGA, run cover for Israel, and bring back Epstein-style reactionary centrism. That's what it is. It's literally a psyop. This is a psyop for MAGA and for Israel. And again, hiring all these people with close Epstein connections.
I actually caught, I think, the episode that they played the clip from, like, originally, like when Bari Weiss was on Joe, on his pod. And I mean, like, I remember listening to that, and I knew nothing about her. I don't know what year that was. I was probably, like, still in high school, I'm pretty sure. But, I just remember listening to that and being like, this woman is the stupidest person I've ever listened to. Like, how did she even get on this program? Like, this woman's a total idiot or whatever. I don't know. Some of the stuff I remember, I couldn't give you specifics, but I just remember listening to that episode and thinking like, man, this woman's a total idiot. Yeah, and now she's like the head of CBS or whatever. So it's just like that saying, like, oh, you suck up to power and then you fail up in the system. It's like, I wouldn't have Barry Weiss freaking, I wouldn't pay to have her, like, wash my car or whatever. Like, she's a freaking tool.
Who actually went back and forth with Epstein and seemingly met up with him a bunch of times, accompanied by Barry Weiss. And so when Joe brings up Epstein's death, she seems to entertain the conspiracy theory a little, but then quickly makes it seem not even that important. She even admits to knowing a bunch of people who hung out with Epstein when he was alive, saying that everyone knew about his crimes and didn't do anything about it, which of course just flies right over Joe's shiny bald head.
Can we just agree that he was murdered? If you had all your chips on the table,
Yes.
like Barry, you got to go all in. What are you gonna do?
There are too many coincidences
Yeah.
to make it plausible that Jeffrey Epstein.
No one knows.
No one knows that. But what
we don't
people
know.
knew, no, meaning,
Someone must
But
know.
what I was going to say is, like, I've talked to enough people that knew him, met him, went to parties at his house, and said, like, everyone knew this about him. It was like a Harvey Weinstein thing,
Right.
In the sense of the young women,
Yeah.
or in the sense that everyone knew about Bill Cosby that came into contact with him. Like, there were things that were just agreed to never speak about. You know,
Right.
it's like, it's just absolutely sick. I was when the story broke about him hanging himself, I was obsessed for like a few days, but then I had to move on to other
course,
things. Like, the world is a big place.
That's what they're
She's
hoping
getting beaten
for.
in the streets. Yeah, but it's also like there actually are things that are more important to me than the
Yes.
story of Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
And I hope that there's some investigative journalist digging into the truth of what happened there.
But to be fair to Joe here, he honestly seems like he didn't know Barry's connection to Epstein during this podcast from 2020. But now that she's named in the files as her wife's quote-unquote babe,
That honestly checks out. I feel like that was the episode I saw. If she was only on his podcast the one time back then, I feel like I did watch that episode when it aired. And my gut reaction of Barry Weiss was like, how the heck did you even get in this position in the first place? I don't know.
but by Epstein. And now that she just hired Dr. Peter Attia at CBS, who is deeply affiliated with Epstein, the whole thing just looks pretty bad for Joseph Rogan. And you already know he's terrified of addressing any of it. Speaking of Peter Attia, though, who's actually one of Joe's more frequent guests that seems to be more close to Joe than usual, he was also listed in the Epstein files, and it appears that he's way more screwed than even someone like Peter Thiel, as he's on record emailing Epstein that he, quote-unquote, can't tell anyone what Epstein does, along with saying that eating pussy is low carb, which is absolutely horrendous given the nature of Epstein's crimes. So Peter Attia probably lost his...
Bro, he said he goes into Jeffrey Epstein withdrawal if he doesn't see him on a regular basis. He also left his dying child in the hospital to go see Jeffrey Epstein. This is not, like, this shouldn't just be doesn't see him on a regular basis. He also left his dying child in the hospital to go see Jeffrey Epstein.
Holy crap. So that's what CoffeeZilla was like hinting at, but wouldn't spill the whole beans on. That's nuts. That is fucking nuts.
This is not, like, this shouldn't just be, hey, you're fired from CBS. This should be, you are excised from polite society and the investigation starts right now, right? Like, Jesus Christ. And this is a Rogan buddy.
Whole career due to the Epstein files, especially now that he's come out publicly and stated that he's ashamed of his affiliation with Epstein, straight up just admitting to being the guy's good pal. And being that he's actually sort of close to Joe Rogan, it just makes you wonder how Rogan will address it, if he will at all. I mean, Joe Rogan must be shitting his pants right now with how many friends of the podcast are being exposed before his very eyes.
I mean, guys, I have to say, I feel bad. We had Noam Chomsky on the show, and Noam Chomsky, it was a fucking hero of mine, like a genuine intellectual hero of mine. His books were some of the ones that really opened my eyes more than anything else. But now I feel bad and I feel dirty because we had him on. This is way before the Epstein stuff. But still, like, now I think he's totally tarnished his reputation. You know who else I feel bad about having on the show? This isn't tied to Epstein, at least directly, not necessarily. But we had on Russell Brand back when he was supposed to be on the left. And then now, of course, he's like, you know, not only is he a alleged rapist and, you know, horrible human being who committed all sorts of sex crimes, but he's also just a total fucking right-wing hack now. I feel bad about that. This motherfucker had virtually the whole Epstein network on and threw softballs down the center of the plate for them. So, I mean, for him...
When it comes to the Russell Brand thing, Kyle, I mean, bro, who you didn't... I don't know. Were there some rumblings out there that he was like a weirdo or accused of some things? I think that might have been out in the public space, but I mean... I don't know. You couldn't have... I don't know if you really could have... I don't think it's fair to be like, oh, I didn't predict his whole right-wing pivot immediately. Like, I mean... I don't know. In hindsight, he seems like a freaking weirdo, but I mean, now that's in hindsight. You know, hindsight's 2020. Again, with the Chomsky thing, like I was kind of saying earlier, I mean, yeah, I agree with Kyle. I mean, it's like he was kind of like an intellectual hero and someone exposing the evils of the American empire. And I remember something that he talked about that I thought was really powerful was when he talked about learning about when the United States had like dropped nukes on Japan or whatever, and he talked about like he like went off into the woods and thought about it, at least to like my memory or whatever. And I remember learning about that in high school and being like, wow, isn't this guy like a deep intellectual thinker who's like a good person and cares about peace and whatever and whatnot. I mean, bro, like I said earlier, he is 97. He wishes he was dead so bad before all this shit dropped. I mean, gross.
Again, the thing for me is like, how are you going to react about Elon in particular? This motherfucker was begging to go to the island, dog. He was begging to go to the island. And so, are you...
And they said no. So fucking funny, bro. So funny. Please, I want to come to your island, please. Sorry, bro. We're all booked up, bro. Sorry.
What are you going to do? You going to say nothing? You're going to try to spin it for him? You're going to bring him on to do damage control? But what I can guarantee you is he will not draw a bright line and say, I'm done with Elon. This was a bridge too far. And fuck these people. Now I'm going to start telling you the truth. Now I'm going to start telling you the truth about Trump, the corrupt war criminal pedophile rapist. Now I'm going to start telling you the truth about the depravity of the shadow government of moneyed interest that really runs us. The cabal of pedophile, rapist, billionaire sadists that run us. He's definitely not going to do that. We know that for sure.
These are the files that Trump's Department of Justice were comfortable with making public. So there's certainly millions and millions of more incriminating things to be released. Like, this is much deeper than you think. Of course, a bunch of the Joe Rogan fanboys are rushing to his defense right now, though, saying that Joe Rogan's had more than 1,200 different guests on his platform and that people are just cherry-picking. And that Joe would have guys like Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and Peter Thiel on, regardless of whether they were affiliated with Epstein or not. Which might be true, given that they're some of the biggest names in the world, but the fact that Jeffrey Epstein himself is now on record trying to get in contact with Joe Rogan just shows you how safe Jeffrey and all his goons felt in Joe Rogan's presence.
Yeah, that's the point, and he'll never address this, is you need to ask yourself, Joe, why did these disgusting people, why did these criminals, why did the cabal of pedophile, rapist billionaires, why are they so comfortable coming on my show? And the answer is, and we've covered what the answer is, because he has on like Mark Andreessen, for example, and Mark Zuckerberg, for example, and like they were reading from the same script. They trashed the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau to Rogan's face, and Rogan had nothing to say in response. He could not defend the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Even the whole point of that agency is the anti-scam police, and they've returned tens of billions of dollars to Americans who were defrauded by big financial institutions.
Good shit, Kyle. Good explanation of what the CFPB does. I mean, yeah. I mean, now it's like, Joe, turn into a policy wonk. Turn into someone who understands politics. Turn into someone who gets all of this. I mean, yeah. To quote Kash Patel, talking about Joe Rogan, Kash knew his lane and what to stay in and stay out of. Joe, maybe you should take a page out of his book and know your lane and which one to stay in and stay out of. I mean, again, old school Joe Rogan. I'm not going to interview Donald Trump or whatever because I'm not a journalist and he's running for president, and I think that's, a big responsibility. But then all of a sudden, I don't care anymore. So I don't know. Seems like you used to have some level of standards about that or some level of respect for like, all right, I mean, I'm not gonna... You can have your show be whatever you want it to be. You can have your buddies on and chill, hang out, shoot the shit or whatever. But again, like Kyle said, I mean, if you think having a bunch of comedian buddies on and shooting the shit or whatever is the same thing as doing that with some of the most powerful people on the planet, come on. I mean, what are you... Come on.
So you invite on billionaires to lie about regulation, to lie about consumer protections because they want no regulation and no consumer protections. They want to scam everybody, right? And you let them get away with it. And that's why they love coming on, because they know you're going to be a fucking doormat and they're going to walk all over you. And they can plan their nefarious talking points where they fucking lie through their teeth and convince everybody, oh, the government is the problem. Regulation is the problem. Don't fucking tax us more. No, because then you're going to lose the jobs and we're going to flee the country and everything's going to suck. So that's why they feel comfortable. They know the billionaires can lie and get away with it, and he won't push back.
It was pulled from emails between Epstein and a man by the name of Lawrence Krauss, who, after going on JRE in 2017, emailed Rogan about the opportunity to get in contact with Jeffrey, which apparently Rogan was timid about. Regardless, though, they've got to feel like Rogan's on their side or something like that, right? Like they must feel a sense of security around the man, given that he never brings up anything involving Epstein's crimes around the associates that he interviews. For instance, during one of the many podcast episodes Joe Rogan shot with Elon Musk, Musk conveniently listed everyone he thought was going to be on it and left himself right off of it, which now, knowing that he apparently desperately tried to get on Epstein's island and was found to be too dorky to make the list, just seems super pathetic.
And that's Rogan's move, and that's Elon's move is, let's talk about Reid Hoffman, let's talk about Bill Gates, let's talk about Bill Clinton. They hyper-focus on the ones that they can say, look, the Democrats, look, the liberals, right? And they ignore the fucking colossal number of Republicans and MAGA. And
that's just so frightening. It's just like, if you're on my team, you can do whatever you want, whether it be, literally be implicated in the Epstein files, doing God knows what, as long as you're on my team, I'll play defense for you. I mean, yeah, that's pretty terrifying.
Others that are in that circle, right?
It's so obvious.
Yes. Like known Epstein clients, who are obviously extremely powerful, they're powerful politically and very wealthy, are Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, and Reid Hoffman.
What I say, literally the exact ones I told you. They're going to hyper-focus.
And then this is Elon's petty way of being like, oh, you don't want to have me at the frickin', island or whatever? Fine, I'll throw you under the bus, Because that's definitely how these, weirdos think. They're just so in their ego and, ugh. My God, these people are just freaking gross.
It's on the ones that are not their buddies, not on the right.
Why was Reid Hoffman so intent on destroying Trump?
Yeah, how do you put someone in jail and you don't even name the clients? That sounds kind of insane.
I think, yes, it would. Yes, because
it's just stunning that they've been able to hold it back for so long.
No, what's stunning, Joe, is that you haven't talked about, and Elon hasn't brought up, that Epstein was Trump's best friend for a decade. And Trump was on the plane 8 times that we know of, and he went to the island. And the first time Trump and Melania had sex was allegedly on the Lolita Express, which was Epstein's pedophile plane. And Trump wrote a creepy fucking love letter for his birthday to Jeffrey Epstein. And Trump offered Epstein a job in his first term to try to pay him off to shut him up. And that there were pics that Michael Wolff saw of Trump with underage girls and a stain on his pants, okay? That they had private events at Mar-a-Lago with just Epstein and Trump. That we have the Katie Johnson story and all the allegations of the underage girls. We have the horrific story of the Dallas limo driver who says he heard Trump talking on the phone about abusing girls. You haven't brought up any of those stories because you hopped on the Trump train. You hopped on the Trump train and you signed up to lie on behalf of the pedophile rapist billionaires.
Really kind of amazing. Yes. Like when people say that people can't keep secrets, what the fuck are you talking about? Look at this.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of these things are not like, it's common knowledge, but we don't actually have the proof.
Right.
So
we absolutely have the proof. In 2011, Trump spent hours with an Epstein victim at Epstein's house, which was bugged. So they have pictures, they have videos. That's a fact. The president of the United States is blackmailed. He can be extorted. He can be coerced. Okay? And they never would talk about this ever, ever, ever.
Is there? I mean, there's lots of videos.
So yeah, I really wonder if Joe will ever talk about Elon being in the files. Based off how Elon's tweeting like a maniac about it and defending himself way too much on his own app though, he'll probably go on to JRE soon here to clear the air, which will definitely make for another video for this channel since it will indeed be super awkward.
We're now getting to the point where, like, I think a lot of the people in Rogan's audience will revolt. They already revolted that he brought up the Epstein files and only brought up Bill Gates. There were people in the comments that were like, you're fucking ignoring all the Trump stuff, all the Elon stuff, right? So if he allows on Elon to try to fucking spew bullshit and dance around this, I predict there's going to be like a mass exodus from Rogan's podcast. I predict that. because it's just too, like, there's none of the original charm of the podcast is there anymore. The idea of like this curious guy who's kind of a Renaissance man who's into all these different things, and he's asked a lot of probing questions, and he, you know, gets people to relax and open up. Now that's all gone. Now you're just like a factory for MAGA bullshit and billionaire bullshit. And so we'll see if he allows him on. If he's smart, he'd tell Elon to fuck off.
Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe.
Yeah, brilliant. Good take. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, useful idiot. Yeah. Man, he had a lot of people in the files on his podcast. That's pretty nuts. All right. That's enough news for right now. Let me try to lighten the mood a little bit. I'm going to try not to laugh. And it'll be really easy. Laugh, you restart the video? Oh boy.
What in the world?
Sit. Gentle. Oh my god.
Hey.
Hey.
Don't do it.
Way too easy.
Life is good though. I want y'all to see that life is great. Your life is great.
Good.
No?
Oh. Here, you do it.
That one might have been the closest so far.
Okay, well maybe it needs to fall out a little bit, but that's the tree. Cut.
It's a good time.
Вот у нас два мальчика катаются, не один, да, киселетик?
That one almost got me.
给大家看看什么是涡轮增压。
Cats do not like to be wet. These cats do not like water.
You did this to yourself.
I'm not even proud of myself. None of this is even hard. Do I win? How much fun?
Pussy, he think he the better. We call him Elon Musk.
Assistindo um futebol aqui de boa. Quando eu olho, os meus peixes também.
A lot of cat videos.
Estoy cansado, jefe. Cansado de tanto viajar solo como un gorrión en la lluvia.
Bro, again.
Bro, no one believes me that my dog is scared of Kim Jong-un. He does not like him. Who is this, Johnny? Who is that? Yeah, you tell him. Yeah, you tell him. You don't like him. Bravo!
That's tough. I win. This is so bad. Oh fuck! I died. Whatever, bro. Fine. I'm laughing at how terrible it is because it's not making me laugh at all. It's like whatever. Fucking stupid ass shit. Ugh. I wonder if that was the point. Maybe it knew I was gonna laugh at how bad it was. All right. All right, well now it is 9:03 Eastern Time here on the Nick Moore Show Live. If you're listening live out there in the universe, thank you for tuning in to this broadcast.
I'm calling about my friend who is pretty much a leftist incel, and not like some punk-ass weak lib. He's like serious pro-Palestine militant leftist. He's a brutal dude to hang out with. He's the type of guy who just makes everything political, and he's like right, but it's really hard, and we're both in our late 30s, and I can tell bro just wants a genuine connection with women, but he is classically scaring the hoes.
Yeah. So he's scaring the hoes. He's too militant. I mean, look, he's got the right politics, but yeah, you don't need to bring him up when you're trying to get pussy. Like, it doesn't have to, like, the...
Well, if I'm the incel leftist in this situation, what I think might be required is you need to ask yourself, what do you want out of the situation? Are you trying, to have a good time? Are you trying to meet someone? Are you trying to go out there on the town? Or are you trying to, is this the revolution? There can be a time for both, is what I'm trying to say. But if Homeboy's really down with the cause, then maybe he needs to, meet someone at a gathering of like-minded people, as opposed to just going out to a bar like his other bro is just trying to go out to a bar, dude. What do these guys say? What's their advice?
The crimes being committed against the Palestinian people don't have to come up at happy hour. You know what I mean?
True.
We don't have to talk about genocide when we're trying to get pussy.
Here's a way to dry them up.
It's good to know that we're on the same page and you'd like to be with someone who agrees with you.
Right.
But let's get sucked off first. Let's order of operations. Let's get sucked off. Second, you ask them how they feel about Israel. All right?
Hey, ladies, Netanyahu, where we going?
He should be in jail, right? That's not how it works.
I'm calling about my...
Oh, you crazy cats. Those crazy guys. Oh boy. Oh dear. That's Joe Rogan's insane kicks. Oh my God. Reacting to the reaction of reacting. Maple Pepsi review. Fire. This is crazy. When did this happen? June. Holy crap, this was like almost 3 years ago now. This is June 10th, 23. Okay, ran a red light there. Let's try to call some
favor, deje su mensaje para 503-406-5222.
Jump ahead a little bit.
Oh my God!
With the fucking parade.
Huh?
I'm stuck on the fucking freeways all over the place.
They got it all blocked off. The Lloyd Center exit, the Convention Center exit, every motherfucking exit. You bum motherfuckers! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
It's just like the most expected thing ever. It's like, oh, there's a parade. The traffic's all blocked up. How could this happen? I don't know. How could this happen? So this dude was crashing out over the fact that the exits were closed. That's crazy. I don't even. What was the? I hardly know any of the I mean, okay, no explanation. Mission start. Okay. Yeah, I don't even know what the hell he's listening to. He's trying to escape the Truman Show. I know, I'm cutting away as it gets good. Did this what? So what? I just gotta. What happened to this guy? 5 years in prison. He pled guilty. I mean, he recorded himself. City of Portland. Reckless endangering. Did he hit anyone? Damn, so this guy's like already 2 years into his sentence. It's crazy.
I'm not the fucking needle in the haystack that you finally found. This ain't no free break, come and put your team in time to town. I'm not a bus ride, you get my back so the road with the team. I'm not the gold watch in the new truck that you scheming the jet top. Yes, you looking the jet. What a mess now. What you think you just because you got yourself in some shit. Listen, my
How do they get them?
You're the memories and Jack. You're the thoughts I'm always thinking. You're thoughts I'm always thinking.
Got away. Did he drive back to his house? Oh my god. Charlie. Reacting to the reaction.
What makes you mad more than anything in the world? What gets under your skin and just ticks you off? I know that this is an iconic question once posed by the great Ned Schneebly in School of Rock, but it applies to what I want to talk about today, because for one unhinged psychopath, the answer to this question was so baffling he ends up throwing his life away for something extremely insignificant. We've all got mad at...
He got 5 years. He didn't throw his life away. I mean, that's a little hyperbolic.
Small things, right? Trivial shit that doesn't matter, whether it's, you know, getting killed in a video game that you think is the result of lag, or maybe someone gives you some goofy eyeballs and you don't like the way they look at you and it makes you feel a little uneasy and it makes you upset perhaps. We've all got mad at something mundane, but one man in Oregon just got so upset that a parade forced him to go on a bit of a detour that he decided to fucking bulldoze through the blockade and then drive through the parade, nearly hitting people, including children, and will now likely spend the rest of his life behind bars, rightfully so.
The rest of his life behind bars?
This is an individual with a severe case of
I don't think that
stigmatomyiosis. He fucking lost his mind and filmed himself doing it the entire time, by the way, all because of a slight detour for a parade. Now, there was one intellectual in chat last night that for some reason his comment was so stupid that it's sticking with me and just marinating in my brain about this story. He said, "Why is he getting punished? No one got hurt." Brother, let me sit you down in the stupid chair real quick. You can't bulldoze through a blockade, and keep in mind, I haven't shown you the video yet, but I will in a second. There is a scene like straight out of an old 90s action film where he like ramps his car up on 2 fucking wheels in order to squeeze through the blockade more efficiently and blast through the parade. You can't do that because you're endangering all the lives around you. I can't believe that even needs explaining in any capacity at all. It blows my mind that I even need to tell you why that's bad. Especially when we've already seen a couple times in the past someone using their vehicle as a weapon during parades where they hit and kill people. Even if his goal wasn't the attempted murder of people at the parade, he almost hit people, and this easily could have ended up in a situation where he blocked off for a parade. Holy shit. I don't think I've ever been that mad over anything in my life. Jesus, he's got that bitch up on 2 wheels. God damn. Like I said, he doesn't hit anyone, but look at this shit.
Bystanders sent running as the Chevy Avalanche.
That's terrifying. This is his camera POV.
I mean, if people didn't get out of the way, he would have fucking hit someone.
It's his camera POV. They didn't put like a drone on his hood or anything. For some reason, he records his own cabin, even though I can't imagine this is an isolated incident with this kind of blow up. Yeah, this is the guy. He caught himself in 4K.
charged with 38 counts, including attempted assault and reckless endangerment. He has pleaded not guilty. Residents in
Not guilty, huh? Are we sure? I've been framed.
Court documents show Metchem is from Portland and has been in and out of prison and juvenile detention since he was 15 on sex abuse convictions against minors.
Whoa.
No trial date.
So he's a pedophile too. Good lord. What the fuck?
Jesus Christ.
For these latest charges, Valerie.
Fuck.
All right, Aaron, thank
Well
you.
then.
Thanks for watching.
What a situation.
Damn. Well, yeah.
All that because they blocked off the road for a fuck.
That doesn't seem like your first move. Doesn't seem like something a first-time offender does. That was crazy. Damn, that's crazy. That was like 2 years ago now, too. That's nuts. This shit's crazy too. This is 7 years ago. He's got his tunes going. Stop. He's got his mask on. Does he see the guy get in the car? Oh, here he comes. Just probably sees the running car.
I'm real work, bitch. Fuck you, nigga. Go get yourself. Oh. Hell, bitch.
This has got to be Florida.
There's that car fucking jacked, huh? Woo! I was G, nigga. Oh, it's a cop. Holy shit! Oh, da-da-da-da.
License registration.
Let's go, baby.
He gets pulled.
Holy fuck! I'm so screwed!
You're already he's toast?
I'm so fucking screwed, dog.
I wonder what does the cop say when I pull out. Let's see. He's pulling over. Close the window.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? Texas Highway Patrol. Reason for you to stop you. You changed lanes over there, kind of went unsafe. You got your license provisionals on you?
No, sir, I have it available right now, sir. I apologize.
Say again?
I don't have it on.
You don't mind keeping your hands up?
Yeah, I just do my feet on stock. I apologize, sir. Yeah, no, I don't have my license search right
You
now.
got your ID on you? License provisional?
Proper lane change? Is that what he said?
Yes, sir.
How you doing? Texas Highway Patrol. Reason for you to stop you. You changed lanes over there, kind of went unsafe. You got your license provisionals on you?
No, sir, I have it available right now, sir. I apologize.
Say again?
I don't have it on.
You don't mind keeping your hands up?
Yeah, I just do my feet on stock. I apologize, sir. Yeah, no, I don't have my license search right
You
now.
got your ID on you?
I don't have anything on me right now. I just going to the store, brother.
Okay.
Okay, I was been turning that regular lane. How did I switch lanes fast? brother. I don't
You got
understand.
warrant anything out for your arrest like that?
No, sir. I just had in law enforcement. Just yesterday, won't put. They run my name. I'm fine.
Say again?
They ran my name. I'm fine. It's Jonathan Lindholm.
Okay, what I'm gonna have you do is put your name, date of birth,
Yes,
social
sir.
security number down.
My name is. Okay, I
You
know.
you on any type of drugs, any influence?
No, sir. I'm completely on sober, 100%.
Okay. All right, what I'm asking right now, because I know you're kind of sweating and so.
Yeah, it's hot, brother.
Okay.
I was just outside. Boy. Tripping, homie. What the fuck?
This guy's driving without a license. The cop just lets him go. Is that real?
Bro. I want to go up that ramp thing. That's where I'm gonna go. Where am I at again? Oh no, I don't want to go. I'm going home.
He's just talking to himself. Bro, they got him like driving outside the lines, and he's got a stolen car. And they're just like, oh, you're good. You can go. That is crazy. Take off your shit.
Say, Mark, you need a ride? You need a ride? All right.
Rides now. I mean, what the hell? Ooh, then he sees the camera. Okay. Yeah, a little too late. Damn. That was great that guy had a dash cam. No comments on this video? Why did this guy upload it? I wonder what I mean, he definitely got arrested. I wonder what the hell happened to that guy. Yeah, this is... Man, if you're a truck driver, respect. Okay. I thought he was gonna make it. Yo, that's actually... Damn! Yo, it's a good thing that person was paying attention. Holy shit. Oh my god. They didn't even slow down. Oh, they did a little. kind of seems like maybe if you're going, it kind of does seem like if they're going faster, they damage the top of the truck. Yo, what the hell, dude? That was a bad one. Big flashing sign. Turn. That bar has claimed many victims. Oh my god. Woo! Just clap if you buy an RV, you're probably not thinking that much anyway. But I mean, by God, if you bought an RV, how the hell are you not like aware of? Maybe it'd be a better idea to go around the bridge or whatever. Find a different, find an alternative route. Oh, that's what I was thinking. When it rips like the top off, when the yeah. Just the people in the intersection too. It's like, what the hell? Oh See that car? They're just like, what the hell? Did they run a red light though? That's pretty damn funny. Yeah, they're just like, nah, rather, I'm good. Just, they'll all drive around it. Oh, this shit's a class.
Somebody tag in Donald Trump. Donald Trump, if you can hear us, please, Donald Trump, please save me. Please save me, Donald Trump. Please
save me.
I'm asking you. Please save me. Please save me. Please get these people away from me. In dear God's name, please stop these beautiful people. They're breaking. Yes, sir.
Save me, Donald Trump. Please save me.
I'm not doing anything, sir.
He's definitely not doing anything.
I'm a believer in the Lord. I'm the Lord's child. I promise you. Give me a.
That's it. It ends there. Oh no, I can't watch this.
Somebody tag in Donald Trump.
I can't watch Meet the Fockers on stream. Oh my god. Was this was this girl on the Lily?
Tonight we are learning more about a boat wreck off the coast of Massachusetts that killed a recent University of Vermont graduate. The family of 22-year-old Jada Samet, who graduated from UVM last year, confirmed she was one of 7 people on board a fishing vessel that went missing Friday, and debris from the boat was later found in the middle of the ocean.
Goddamn.
ABC 22's Matt Holderman joins us now live in the studio. Matt also has reaction from the UVM campus community. This is a tough story, Matt.
It is a tough one, Lauren. Family members of Jada Samit and people at UVM who knew her all describe her as a brave, caring young woman whose passion in life was protecting the environment. She had just started working at sea last summer, and her family says it was a dream job of sorts, but ultimately one that was cut far too short.
With fishing, we know, comes a lot of heartache.
A tragedy at sea unfolding just days ago, claiming the life of 2025 UVM graduate Jada Samit. The 22-year-old came to Vermont 5 years ago looking to expand her knowledge of the environment, taking courses at the Rubenstein School of Environment and Natural Resources. Upon graduating, Samit started working as a fisheries observer, hopping aboard commercial fishing vessels, gathering data to share with sustainable fisheries. But this past Friday, Samit was one of the 7 aboard the Lily Jean when it set sail off the coast of Gloucester, Massachusetts. And according to the U.S. Coast Guard, something went wrong about 25 miles out.
We received, as the captain mentioned, a radio distress beacon from the ship indicating that there was an issue. We understand that they might have had a casualty to their fishing gear, which required them to come in to fix it before they could go back out.
The Coast Guard took a helicopter and boats out to sea, covering hundreds of miles, eventually finding a debris field that included a life raft and a body floating in the water. Officials have not yet said whose body it was, but the other 6 still missing are now also presumed dead, and searches have been called off.
In Gloucester, fishing is more than a way of life. It truly is the fabric of this community, and there are a lot of us that go to work every day pretty assured that we're going to come home at night to our families. But in a fishing family, there's no telling what's going to happen.
Not long after, Samit's family shared a statement, writing in part, quote, "We are devastated by her loss and the pure tragedy of the unthinkable, unimaginable events that took her from us far too early." UVM professor Jed Murdoch shared thoughts too, saying he had Samit in his wildlife behavior course and worked closely with her on a wildlife monitoring project. He says, quote, "She was a gem, a thoughtful and caring person that had a genuine interest in using science to tackle pressing environmental issues. Jada had an eagerness to be an agent of good for people and environment and was passionate and committed to making the world a better place." And officials with the Coast Guard Northeast District say they have launched a formal investigation now on the sinking of the Lily Jean and those 7 sailors. They will be joined in the investigation by the National Transportation Safety Board. In the wake of this tragedy, I should also mention a nonprofit called Fishing Partnership Support Services is collecting donations for all of the victims' families, and we will have a link to it later tonight on mychamplainvalley.com. Reporting live in the studio, Matt Holderman, ABC 20. Collecting donations. National Transportation Safety Board. In the wake of this tragedy, I should also mention a nonprofit called Fishing Partnership Support Services is collecting donations for all of the victims' families, and we will have a link to it later tonight on mychamplainvalley.com. Reporting live in the studio, Matt Holderman, ABC 22 News.
Tonight, officials have confirmed the identities of the 7 people who died when a fishing boat sank off Gloucester.
WBZ's Louisa Moeller's live for us in Gloucester tonight. Louisa, the community really being hit hard by this loss.
I mean, this is crazy. Well, I'll say this on here. I don't care. I don't think I'm doxing or whatever too much, but my mom is from Gloucester. She went to, she knew the captain of the boat. They graduated from high school together. My other side of the family, my dad's side of the family, my grandmother, his mom, she, grew up in Gloucester. Her dad was a fisherman. I think it was either him or her uncle who died at sea. So, I have family on the Fisherman's Memorial. I've gone boating out of Gloucester many times. Love it there. Love the area. Yeah, just terrible. Terrible for that 22-year-old girl, too. I mean, younger than me. Just graduated college. Got your whole life ahead of you. That's terrible.
David, Lisa, this is the deadliest fishing tragedy to hit this community since the 1991 perfect storm sank the Andrea Gale, taking the lives of the 6 souls aboard her. The dangers of the sea are woven into Gloucester's history. And because of that, 2 seasoned fishermen told me that the captain of the Lily Jean, he was scrupulous. And the journey he embarked on last week, they say, was entirely typical for this time of year.
Yeah. Accurcio Gus Sanfilippo, captain of the vessel. Paul Beal, Sr., a member of the crew. Paul Beal, Jr., a member of the crew.
Gloucester State Senator Bruce Tarr slowly listed the names of those lost in the sinking of the Lily Jean fishing vessel.
John Rusinitis, a member of the crew. Freeman Short, a member of the crew. Sean Terrian, a member of the crew. And Jada Samet, a NOAA fisheries observer.
His emotions tied not only to his political position, but to his friendship to Captain Gus Sanfilippo.
Is one of the people that I look to in this harbor.
Al Capone described Captain Gus's multi-generational fishing legacy.
If there was a fishing hall of fame, they would be in it. Gus's father and my father grew up together in Sicily. They fished there.
And all of the people at this news conference cautioned against speculation over what happened to the Lily Jean on a bitter January day.
40 to 60 miles is the standard winter fishing grounds. And winter means whatever winter brings you.
The Coast Guard was alerted to Lily Jean sinking when a beacon went off on the boat Friday. And a frigid search by the Coast Guard was called off with only 1 body recovered. The Lily Jean sunk in over 300 feet of water off the coast of Gloucester. Right now, Tar's saying it's unclear if she'll ever be brought to the surface. And as the investigation unfolds, a pile of flowers grows next to Gloucester's Fisherman's Memorial. For those who live this life, the pain will not go away soon.
When a fisherman's wife is worried, we're all worried, because we've all been there in some shape or form.
Now, a joint Coast Guard and National Transportation Safety Board investigation is continuing. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we spoke with a woman who is keenly aware of the risks of the fishing life, and we heard about her organization and how it helps the widows who are left behind from these tragedies. Live in Gloucester, Louisa Moeller, WBZ News.
Help so appreciated. Louisa, thank you.
Yeah, it's a big point about that, too, because, I mean, you lose one of your big sources of income, too, when that happens. So that's, yeah, crazy. Nice. It's a great title. Oh, this video is so funny.
This one?
Hold on, let me find the real video. Come on, here we go. Boom. Oh my god.
And it's like super hot too. Oh fuck.
I'm no plumber, but I'm pretty sure you turn off the water first, so this doesn't happen.
A ver, quita aquí, Janet. Here, tus cosas.
Oh my god, you have to let that going. Style. There's a part where the water really carp cone. Just the water pressure is just so comical. Like, what the... Yeah, I think that bucket's gonna really help under there. Oh my god. I mean, where are you going? Are you running to turn off the water? Oh my god. Oh my god. Why even try? Oh my god. Better than not trying. Oh my god. Why didn't you shut the water off before? Someone shut the water off?
Charge $150.
Fucking, what the hell is this shit? This is worth fucking thousands. Put it into the fucking shit. Oh, This whole fucking bedroom is fucking ruined. God damn it, son of a bitch. Fucking shit. Fucking. I wonder what's going on downstairs.
When you turn it on and you turn it off, they charge $150.
Fucking, what the hell is this shit? This is worth fucking thousands. Entire room fucking flooded.
Hey, they got the water turned off. Oh my god, it's a whole breakdown. All hiring decisions were between the landlord and the plumber. Damn, okay. The plumber. .90 psi torrent of steaming hot water. 7.6 million views. God damn.
Hey, the big man's back. www.thekidfrombrooklyn.com. Did you ever see them signs on the highway billboards years ago? I'd walk a mile for a camel. Or they used to have cigarette commercials. The guy used to say, I'd walk a mile for a camel. Well, let me tell all you young people out there, the big man would walk 20 miles for a Quaalude. Let me tell you, that was the drug back there in the late 70s and 80s. Quaaludes, the good old Aurora 714, and they changed it to lemon. I tell you, I wish I had a couple of them fucking lemons now. That was the best fucking drug ever made. It was so fucking good, the government took them off the fucking market because they were putting the fucking drug dealers out of fucking business. Non-narcotic, non-addictive, bring back the fucking Quaaludes. You can take all the fucking cocaine, marijuana, and all them fucking designer drugs they make today and stick them up your fucking ass. There's nothing like a fucking Quaalude.
Why wasn't this in the other video? Alright, this is way funnier. Well, I'm hitting my DMT cart right now, bro.
I'm hitting my DMT cart right now. Hold on, nigga. I'm hitting it not enough to break through though.
I'm gonna take one too, bro.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Whoa. I need that.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy fuck. Oh my. Oh god. Oh my god.
CS right
fuck, now. I'm breaking through, bro.
Oh, here we go. All right, this is high quality entertainment.
Let me just briefly explain Revenge of the Sith plot line, because at the time we wrote articles about it because the media said we don't understand this. This makes no sense. The most popular of the three prequels. They made total sense. Emperor Palpatine was a little-known senator from Naboo, small planet. He finances terrorists to attack the planet.
Terrorists.
And then he plays victim and says that the pacifist Republic isn't doing enough to help him with the terrorist invasion, the Trade Federation invasion, who even speak in Chinese accents. It's all geopolitical. And so, yeah, little aliens with Chinese accents. He then goes and complains and catapults himself in the crisis into the role of chancellor. Because, you know, he was the victim, but now he demanded something be done. He'd been a pacifist previously. Now he's chancellor. Episode 2 launches terror attacks all over the galaxy with groups he's secretly financing through his backers in the Trade Federation. He turns around and double crosses in the end. Lord Vader killed Viceroy Gunray and everyone else in the... So basically, in the end, they knock out all of the people that backed him, which always happens. Nazi Germany, Soviet Russia, Maoist China, learn from history. Then in episode... so he uses that to build up the power of the empire in episode 2. And now he's got this big Imperial army, but it's not Imperial yet. But it's the stormtroopers, the outfits, the weapon systems to counter this outside threat run by Count Dooku, the Osama bin Laden guy that actually works for him, and they meet in secret. Now, In episode 3, he launches an attack on the imperial capital himself. He launches an attack on New York. And then he gets captured, and then he sets up Count Dooku to get killed, and then he seduces to the dark side Anakin Skywalker to make him Darth Vader. And in the end, he then sets up, after he has the police state in place, he sets up the Jedi and says they're terrorists and has the anti-terror forces go in and wipe them out. And then he says he's launching a global intergalactic war to bring peace. Now, the media could not understand, wait, and they actually wrote articles, Emperor Palpatine's attacking himself, it makes no sense. Adults cannot understand children-level ideas, okay? Child-level ideas. Child-level. How can you not understand it? Okay? Very simple.
Very simple. There you go. He just explained the prequels. Oh, what's it good? Oh, call the judge and get some fudge.
Can I help you?
Call the judge and get some fudge.
Call the judge and get some fudge? Are you okay?
Nope.
No?
You a doctor?
Maybe.
Well, where's your MD?
My dick?
Your DM?
You trying to slide in the DMs? You trying to slide?
Pardon?
You trying to slide in the DMs?
What are you talking about?
You know Twitter.
Yep.
Good time. Call the judge and get some fudge.
I found out my girl has been sleeping around. It's one of her coworkers.
Ugh.
I don't really want to break up with her, but it's just hard for me to get past
Jesus
this. We're waiting to
Christ.
have the conversation. And
Pause.
for her to be in love.
We're waiting. I'm digesting it. She's getting her pussy beated up. We're talking to one of the most gaslit men in America right now. He's like, well, you know, she told me she thinks it's possible she can love more than one person.
She's okay with it, but I don't know if I am.
This poor guy's so
I also think what's going on here is this person has cripplingly low self-esteem.
Absolutely.
I don't know if he's ugly or has bad teeth or glasses or a weak jawline, big forehead, herpes, whatever it is. This guy just doesn't see himself as somebody that can get another woman. And sure, his last special didn't hit 1 million views, but I just feel like that was the algorithm. Get out there, buddy. You're better than you realize.
Yeah.
I found out my girl has been sleeping around. It's one of her coworkers.
Ugh.
Madman. What a menace. Oh, no way. Here we go. We are all Charlie Kirk. We are the world.
He stood unshaken, a voice in the storm, a man of conviction, a heart reborn. He spoke the truth when the cost was high. He lived for Jesus.
All right. With that, I think that's it for tonight. If you watched, if you tuned in, thanks.